fans are out. It's time now to sit back and enjoy the action. It's Rangers against Morton for a place in the quarter-finals of the League Cup with Leanne Crichton, Andy Ritchie and Liam McLeod.
Yeah, Aberdeen through to the quarter-finals after last night's victory at Fourth Bank against Stirling Albion. They were pushed all the way by the League One team. Championship Morton here at Ibrox to take on Premiership Rangers, looking to do the same and try and make life as difficult as possible for what is clearly a superior opposition. It's the 16th time these two have met in the League Cup. Rangers unbeaten. They've won 13 of the 15 that have been played before now, drawing the other two in the old group stage back in the day. It's the first time they've met all told since a Scottish Cup fifth round tie here at Ibrox in February 17. Rangers winning 2-1 thanks to goals from Kenny Miller and Martin Waghorn. Michael Tidser had given Morton a shock early lead that day, a lead though which they held for just 6 minutes. It's their first League Cup meeting since August 95. 3-0 Rangers it was. Haitley, Gascoigne and McCoist on the score sheet. Rangers would go on to lose to Aberdeen in the semi-finals that year. David Dickinson's the referee, Gavin Duncan's the VAR. It's just the two ties in the last 16 that will have the video assistant. The other at Rugby Park tomorrow as Kilmarnock take on the holder Celtic, who Rangers lost to in last season's final. Butland in goal for the home team. Sterling, Goldson, Balogun and young John Lee Fecko starts at left back for his debut. Lundstrom, Dowell and Cifuentes, Matondo, Lammers, Dessers. For Morton, McDonald, the experienced goalkeepers, 37 nowadays. McGrattan, O'Connor, Broadfoot, Waters. Blues, Power, Gillespie, Crawford, Muirhead and Oakley. Morton in the all-yellow will kick off. There's the first whistle. This cup tie's underway. Morton left to right, shooting towards Copeland Road, with Rangers attacking the Broomloan in their blue shirts, white shorts, black socks with the red tops on a drizzly old day here in Glasgow. And the non-existent summer continues into the last couple of weeks of August as it goes out for a throw-in over on the far side. However, slick surface, Leanne Crichton, the players will like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Surface looks absolutely magnificent, and the rain that's come down, it certainly helped it. They did have the sprinklers on frantically before the players came out as well, which will have added to it. But it's just in these early moments, even for the Rangers players, we touched on the number of changes. How quickly can you settle into that groove? How quickly can you get to know each other? Some of them won't have played together an awful lot.
There's a loose ball, and Morton trying to take advantage of it already with Muirhead down the right. He's challenged really well by the youngster Fecko, who thunders into Robbie Muirhead. He's felt the full force of that one, Andy Ritchie.
Yeah, he gave him a good knock there, and he's landed on his back with his arm underneath his body as well, so he's had the double done attached to that. But his first touch let him down a little bit and allowed the Rangers player Fecko to get his challenge in, and it was robust, but there was nothing nasty in it.
Yeah, it's a sore one. It just shows him too much of the ball, Liam, and allows you, Fecko, one of those challenges. You can wholeheartedly get through the ball, but you can just leave a tiny bit on the player as well.
He's got back to his feet, but it was a proper winding there for Robbie Muirhead. He was Morton's top scorer with 12 last season. Fecko on the ball for Rangers, long left foot, Raker deep into the Morton half. Broadfoot just marshalling it back to McDonald, two veterans in the Morton side. McDonald 37, Broadfoot 39. I bet he thought he wasn't going to get back here for a game. He was playing for Broomhill last season in the Lowland League, but here he is at Championship Morton. Dougie Imrie bringing the vast experience of the former Scotland and Rangers player into the club, perhaps not just for his playing and his place in the squad, but perhaps just having him around the place will help as well. As the long crossfield ball finds Matondo into the box, he goes and he shoots, and McDonald saves with the boot there. He was in there like a whippet, was Robbie Matondo, left hand side of the box, got to about the angle of the 6-yard area, and McDonald does really well to save with his foot.
Yeah, it's lovely from Matondo. Great ball over the top from John Lundstrom, I think it was, and Matondo just takes it with outside of the right boot right into his stride, and that turn of pace that he's got gets across the defender, just stops him from making the challenge. But McDonald, we know how reliable he's been, certainly at Championship level. He's been outstanding for a number of years. He stood up to the challenge again. With 3 Scottish Cup finals as Matondo takes the corner. It's cleared easily though on the 6-yard line. He had a really good cameo against Livingston here last Saturday, did Matondo, as it's collected there just in the halfway line. Rangers in possession with Dujon Sterling, who makes his first start for the club this afternoon. Short ball to Goldson,
in the centre circle, who strokes it out with the right foot to Dowell on this left-hand side. Forward it comes to Matondo again. Cifuentes is behind him. Instead he plays it forward to Dowell. Chip ball into the box. Headed away already. Morton have been pinned back here by last season's runners-up, as Goldson, who skippers Rangers today in the absence of James Tavernier, collects midway inside Morton territory, right to centre. Out to Sam Lammers on that far side. Rolls it back into the midfield for Lundstrom, who plays it to Yefeko on this left-hand side. He finds Matondo, first time to Dowell, across, blocked by Broadfoot, only as far as Matondo, who goes down. Some optimistic shouts from the Rangers supporters for a penalty as Morton clear their lines up towards Oakley down the right-hand side. Balogun's marshalling him though. Still Oakley trying to, at the very least, win a throw-in off Balogun, and he's done well to do just that. About level the edge of the D of the Rangers box. Really good play by George Oakley.
Yeah, it was. He kept the ball up there, but I'm just noticing earlier on there in the move the little bit of a problem at Morton having the right back position here. Cammy Blues dropped himself in there, and McGrattan did the same, and Matondo was able to turn them very easily to get into the box. And I noticed across the box when Matondo went in on the first chance, Dessers wasn't a happy man when he didn't cut it across the box. He went for the goal. He went to go under the goalkeeper, but Donald got down quick enough to block it. The dangerous side of the park this will be, Liam, this side, and the left-hand side for Rangers.
You can tell that already, can't you? Blues took the throw in. It's been given away though in the final third, so Rangers have it back. It's played along the 18-yard line by Goldson to Balogun. Those two reunited at the heart of the Rangers defence. With Balogun back at the club. Yefeko down the left-hand side for Matondo. He's in the Morton half, midway inside it. Blues slides in. And Crawford, Alan Power in the beating heart of the Morton team as well. Another experienced campaigner, former Kilmarnock player, as Lammers collects, gets it facing goal, gets the break of the ball. Dessers might be in here, but it's whipped away from him by Dara O'Connor, who knocks it out into the main stand on this near side. 5 in, 0-0 at Ibrox.
Yeah, it's a good recovery from Dara O'Connor. Connor Goldson, as you say, Liam, stepping into the game. Rangers are looking to try and hem Morton in it as much as they possibly can, and there will be some scary moments for Morton, no doubt about it, because Dougie Imrie, as he said, they're going to need to offer up an awful lot of possession this afternoon, but it's just how well you can defend your box, and so far Morton have managed to do that in these opening minutes.
You know, most top flight clubs when they come here have to ride their luck at times, so if you're a division below, you can understand that will be the same as Cifuentes collects down the right hand side in front of what is an excellent away contingent of Morton fans who made the journey along the M8 to Ibrox from Greenock this afternoon. Rangers keeping the pressure on over on that far side as the ball goes behind. I think, is it just a throw in or a corner it's been given? It's over on that far side, it might well be.
Yeah, I think it's a corner.
Yeah, corner kick's been given, almost 6 in. Kieran Dowell, who scored a wonderful goal here against Livy a week ago, takes the short corner. Picked up by Cifuentes, gets the cross ball in. Dessers tries to hook it with his back to goal towards Jamie McDonald's goal frame. Can't make enough contact on it as Yefeko keeps it in play on this near side. Keeps this attack alive for Rangers. Lundstrom to Goldson, and he plays it short to Dowell. Out wide right, he strokes it. Cifuentes gets the ball under control, gets the cross in. It will break Matondo's way. Left hand side of the area, looking for space to shoot. Closed down, but it comes back to Lundstrom, who puts it over the bar, and he slaps fresh air in frustration that he couldn't find the target, and it stays Rangers 0, Morton 0.
Yeah, there's a nice purpose about Rangers early in the part of the game here. You know, the passing's crisp. It's getting out into the wide areas. We're over the other side of the park there, but everything's coming into the box quite early as well, Liam, and that's causing Morton a wee bit of a problem. We've got a lot of bodies in there, but a lot of bodies doesn't make safety in round about the box as well. We've really got to be picking up players in there and making sure they're matching what's happening inside the box.
These are huge games for both clubs. Clearly for Rangers, they've only won 1 out of the last 24 domestic major cup competitions that have been played, having ended their long wait in the Scottish Cup final a couple of seasons back. But these matches are so important to them. Yes, PSV Eindhoven is in the rear view mirror just now, and it's closing in on them. That's coming up on Tuesday evening, but these games are not to be sniffed at for Rangers either. As Blues bowls it forward from round about the halfway line, it's headed away by Yefeko and headed up into the air by O'Connor up towards halfway. Blues meets it with the left foot up into the air. Muirhead looking for it. Cifuentes battling with him though. Eventually it's a little touch forward by Grant Gillespie, the skipper for Morton, but it all breaks down and Rangers have it back with Yefeko. Goes back to Jack Butland, who's to almost panically run towards the ball because It was a little bit too much of it was shown to George Oakley. Morton win it back in the midfield, and they've got a free kick because Crawford's been upended by Matondo, and it's a Morton free kick midway inside Rangers territory, right hand side, 8 minutes in, 0-0.
Yeah, it's a good area for Morton to look to put the ball into the Rangers box, and those are the types of areas that Ravi Matondo, I think, frustrates the Rangers fans at times, Liam, when he drops into his own half and he's just careless. He's got the pace. I don't know if he's technically the best player. I think he's better going in behind and stretching a back line, but he just takes too many touches and gets caught on it.
He's getting a chance to show what he can do. He wasn't stripped for the Servette match the other night as Muirhead takes the free kick left-footed in towards the back end of the box, but it beats everyone and sails harmlessly behind for the goal kick to Rangers. Goalless at Ibrox.
Yeah, that's disappointing for Robbie Muirhead there. That's one of his main strengths, is his delivery into the box and his free kick expertise. He's dropped the ball in there, really in no man's area. He's got to try and pick out our players inside the box like that, especially when the two central defenders have gone up to support.
Matondo on this near side, Rangers attacking now. Chops in field, short ball to Lammers, back to Lundstrom, who has to in turn go back the way to Fecco. Goes it with the right foot into the centre circle for Balogun, who prods it forward to Cifuentes. At the midway point of Morton territory, he finds Goldson to his right. Everyone bar Butland in the Morton half right now. As Balogun strokes into Fecco, who's got Dowell on this left-hand side. Dowell forwards to Matondo, back to Kieran Dowell, to Matondo. Challenged well by a combination of McGrattan and Power, and out it goes for a Rangers throw-in. Level with the 18-yard line. Alan Power actually had a really good record against Rangers when he was at Kilmarnock, as his manager Steve Clark did in his first spell at the club. Seemed to have the Indian sign over the Ibrox club, both home and away actually. He's in there with his fellow midfield enforcer Gary Dicker. As Goldson looks up, knocks it forward, it comes bouncing off Gillespie, now picked up by Lammers. Lammers out to the wide right hand side. It's a chance to cross for Sterling, it's cut out, takes back to Sterling, right foot ball comes in too deep for both Dessers and Matondo, and will go out harmlessly enough on this near side for a throw into the Ton. 10 in, 0-0.
Yeah, I think Dougie Emery mentioned the preamble to the show there when he said about they're not going to get too much of the ball, and that's certainly been the case in the first 10-11 minutes of the game here. But they look quite comfortable, Morton. It's not as if they're being stretched down the side, but the ball coming in from the wide areas is always going to be a problem for them. But they've handled the first 10 minutes of the game well, Liam.
They seem a bit more switched on, Andy, in terms of doubling up in those wider areas. I know you identified the threat of Matondo early on in the left-hand side, but Morton look as if they've worked that out now, and they're offering another body there just in that little bit of support underneath the ball. Yeah,
well, I think when you do that, when you play the way that Morton are playing, a lot of teams come to Ibrox and Celtic Park and play. You need that. You double up both sides as a gimme. You know, everybody will know that in their tactics on the opposite side of the dugouts as well. I was just a little bit worried there early on about young Lewis McGrattan's awareness of what was happening down that side. Cammy Blues, isn't he a natural right back? And young Lewis is really going to have to double up. But I see, as Liam pointed out there, Alan Power drop him in there as well to give him the free in the wide area here on the left. He's a very experienced player for Morton.
Sterling for Rangers, wide on the right hand side, level with the edge of the D of the Morton box, steps in field, rolls the ball to Lundstrom, who squares it first time to Goldson. Rangers patient here. It's over on that right hand side with Cifuentes, looks up, right foot cross ball comes in towards Matondo. Morton managed to get it clear and it breaks into the midfield. There's an opportunity here for them to drive forward, and the referee sounds his whistle as McGrattan has the legs taken from him just outside the centre circle. Morton have a free kick. Tell you what, Andy, it's a brilliant away crowd have come along the road, as I said, backing Morton this afternoon.
Yeah, they've been buying the tickets for a while now. It was over 2,200 they expected up here today, but they did the same at Celtic Park, Liam, so hey, people in green like a good day out, Liam.
It's not the longest journey, to be fair.
Yeah, especially an early kick-off, Andy.
Well,
what a day that'll be.
Yeah, back in time for the party at night time, so don't worry about it.
They all hope
win, lose or draw.
They all hope to be partying. As Goldson gets it from Butland and plays it short to Lundstrom and back to Connor Goldson. When you consider one of the biggest shocks in Scottish football was when Hamilton came here and won in the Scottish Cup, and they were in the same division as Rangers. Morton were to win this today, it's one of the big ones, and it's Rangers on the ball. 0-0 though, as Matondo steps in field against Blues, moving into central area, right foot ball. He can't find either Cifuentes or Sterling on the far side, and it was right between the two of them, behind for a goal kick to Morton, who will settle for that all afternoon long.
Yeah, of course they will. On you go, Andy.
No, it's just the way they push them inside. When Leanne mentioned doubling up on the sides like that, that's very important. But at the same time, your fullback wants to be pushing them in amongst the bodies inside the park like that, making them do something with the ball, either make a good pass or be able to take a player on to get a shot. And Matondo did none of the two there, so hey, that's one up for us.
Morton qualified for this stage as one of the three best runners-up, along with Stirling Albion and Raith Rovers. Finished a point behind Ross County in their section, having lost in Dingwall despite leading for I think around 40 minutes of that game. George Oakley had given them the lead, and they would have been well cleared at the top of the group at that point. As they pick up with McGrattan rolling it to the right hand side, an opportunity for Cameron Blues to drive into some space, being closed down by Matondo, gets the cross in, way too close to Butland though, who holds on in the 6-yard box, and it remains Rangers 0, Morton 0 here on Sportsound.
Yeah, it's too close to Butland, but it's a good passage of play from Morton, just turning it over, and that bit of composure as well from Alan Power in the early part of the move. That's what Morton need, and that's what Dougie Imrie will have enforced in his players today. Yes, you might have out of possession for a long period of time, but when you do get the opportunity to win it, don't just be clearing it out for throw-ins, don't just be putting it long into channels. Can we play, can we move the ball? Because Morton, when they do it, they're a good football inside.
Yeah, that wee passage of play there when they get Cammy Blues. Cammy Blues is a holding midfield player or a central midfield player.
Yeah.
He found himself in a foreign area there, being down the side, having to supply the cross into the box. And it was basically a weak cross in like that. But that's no significant in Cammy's game. He's a central midfield player who's doing a job today.
He's got the engine though, Andy, that's why he's there, isn't it? Yeah. He's normally that box-to-box midfielder, so it's a job for him that Dougie Imrie clearly trusts.
Sterling gets a cross in, takes a deflection, Dessers on the turn, and the shot saved by McDonald, who's rolling back the years. He's made two really important saves for Morton in the opening 15 minutes of this one. This from Cyril Dessers, who hooked it towards goal. He had his back to goal initially, and McDonald makes a spectacular save. Rangers corner on this near side. Yeah,
it was a classy bit of play for the big fella there. He's on the half turn, he's on the swivel, left foot volley, straight down the throat of the goalkeeper a wee bit there, but he's did well to get it over the bar. Quality play.
Corner will be taken by Cifuentes. He's taking it short to Dowell, takes a touch with the left foot, tries to run away from Crawford, who's putting him under pressure, digs out the cross, too deep for the 3 in the 6-yard area, and Blue and Morton are able to head clear through O'Connor over on that far side when it goes out for a Rangers throw-in. So Morton have got through the opening 15 and a half minutes without conceding, albeit Jamie McDonald has made those 2 saves. He's going to have to make saves if Morton are going to come through with a victory. That is going to happen. You quite clearly expect that as Matondo attacks the left-hand side of the box, skips in field onto the right foot, rolls it back to Cifuentes, squares it to Lundstrom, who passes it back towards Goldson. Goldson for Rangers, midway inside the Morton half, squares it to John Lundstrom, and the Scouser turns it to the left for Ifeko, out to the Welshman Matondo on the left-hand side, level with the Morton penalty spot. Now he's attacking the byline, gets the ball fired across, comes off McDonald and then bounces off O'Connor and falls oh so favourably and sweetly for Jamie McDonald, because that touch, when it bounced back O'Connor, could quite easily have gone into the net. It stays 0-0.
Yeah, it was a wee bit of good fortune there.
The smile on Jamie McDonald's face tells you everything you need to know. So far his afternoon's going just fine. 2 really good saves, strong saves, and then a stroke of luck, which is exactly what you need in a tie like this if you're going to stay in the game and possibly run it as close as you can.
Here come Morton though, up the right hand side, looking to make some inroads themselves. There's Lewis McGrattan back into the centre circle. Power, first time to the left there for Kirk Broadfoot, whose next birthday will see him turn 40. And Morton have got themselves a free kick. Goldson has given it away right at the edge of the box. I think it's Oakley, he's brought it down, he got 2 touch tied to him, and Morton have a free kick left hand side of the box, about level with the edge of the arc of the penalty area, and an opportunity knocks here for them, Andy Ritchie. This is the kind of situation they really need to take advantage of here. Yeah, this just falls right into big Robbie Muirhead's basket here. It's absolutely fantastic for these situations, Liam, and I'm hoping I don't give him the commentator's curse out of the whole thing and he blasts it out of the bar. But of his 12 goals the last season, 6 of them were for free kicks.
in round about these areas.
He's going to take
very
this
good at them.
left-footed, goes for goal, and Butland's forced to make the save at his near post as Muirhead tried to find that bottom left corner from the left-hand side of the area. It's really well struck. Jack Butland had to watch that ball come through a ruck of players as well, and it stays Rangers 0, Morton 0. But the Ton have tested the Rangers keeper. And now they come forward again with McGrattan, right-footed angle ball. There's too much on it for Broadfoot though, and it sails behind for the goal kick. It will stay 0-0 on 18, but Butland was forced to save that one.
He was, yeah. No, it was a good save, Liam. As Andy says, Robbie Muirhead works the ball really well, manages to work it round the wall low and hard, and Butland gets a good strong hand to it down to his right hand side, and Morton will take a lot of confidence from that. You can even see in the last couple of minutes forcing Broadfoot a bit higher up the pitch, looking to try and get bodies in and around the box. And George Oakley, since he's come to Morton, has been a real handful, and he does well to win that free kick. He ties Connor Goldson in knots and just uses that physical battle that he eventually wins.
I'm surprised to see George Oakley leave Cali Thistle when he did last term. Did the first half of the season at Inverness. He's had 2 spells there, but Dougie Imrie bringing him to Capello, and he does a job, that's for sure. And he scored some big goals in his time north of the border. Spell at Hamilton too, as Cifuentes picks up Rangers attacking down the right hand side. Sterling at the corner flag. His cross is cut out. He goes out for a Rangers throw in, about level with the Morton 6-yard line, in front of the hordes of Morton fans who are inside Ibrox this afternoon. And it will be Sterling to take the throw in. His first team opportunities, you suspect, will be limited with James Tavernier, the regular occupant of that right back position. And breaks down for Sterling, and Morton are able to get it clear. Oakley holding off Balogun brilliantly, and there's a first time ball which could find Crawford. He's in behind here, he goes for goal early and he drags it well wide. Just didn't fancy his chances, albeit it's taken a touch off the defender, so there's obviously been some kind of last-ditch challenge there. It just looked as though Robbie Crawford was going to be in, and he's in superb goal-scoring form just now.
Yeah, he's been Morton's top goal scorer for the start of the season like that. But great play again. Leanne pointed out Big George Oakley holding the ball up again, getting secure possession for the middle of the park. A bit fortunate through the middle on the ball. I think Golson caught for a wee bit of pace like that. Butland came out, but made the wrong decision to come out, because he's never ever going to get it. You would expect Morton's top goal scorer maybe have a wee chip at the ball there as he was going through.
Huge opportunity missed, Andy.
Yeah,
huge.
Fantastic.
Crawford takes the resulting corner, it's whipped towards goal, blocked there by Ifeko on the 6-yard line, and Rangers get it away. But Morton are threatening. They're in a cup tie here without question at the moment. There's a good touch by McGrattan. Lundstrom gets between the man and the ball to prevent McGrattan a running on goal, and Rangers get it away. Morton enjoying their best spell of the game so far. Muirhead on the near side wins the throw-in off Lundstrom, level with the Rangers penalty spot on this main stand side.
Yeah, Morton have worked their way into the game, Liam. That's exactly what they've managed to do. First 20 minutes, 15 minutes, really robust, defended their box, gave Rangers the respect that they deserve in terms of the magnitude of the club that they're up against. But now they've got a feel for it. Now they realise that Rangers are not working the ball quick enough.
There's Blues down the right, gets the cross ball in again. It's headed clear by Balogun onto the chest of Lammers. He can't get it into his stride though, but it comes off a Morton man last and out for a Rangers throw-in. But all kinds of encouragement, Andy Ritchie, for your old club here at the moment in the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, last 5 minutes have been great like that. We've been able to get up the park, but not only up the park we have a bit of secure possession as well, try and create something, have an end product to it. It hasn't just worked right for them in the box yet, but if you continue to put those balls in the box like that, Liam, you'll get joy.
It'll look like a bad challenge by Gillespie. He's actually got some of the ball though. It was David Dickinson, the referee. It was in good position as Rangers come forward. One ball flashed through towards Cyril Dessers, who pinches it off the defender. But the referee's whistle will stem the celebrations as Dessers rolls the ball into the net. The free kick for the previous challenge has been given, and Morton get off the hook with one there, perhaps. Yeah,
it was a soft challenge for Dara there. He'd got his body across, he had made the contact, he had received the ball and then fell over the ball. I couldn't see much. I think that was a soft free kick to be given against Rangers like that. again, we've got out of jail a wee bit for that one.
Have to say, Leanne, I thought when Dessers won the ball off the defender, that was going to stand.
Yeah, there's not an awful lot in it. I would need to say Connor just gets himself across. I think he actually realises himself he's put his body too far to the right hand side, and as he looks to try and recover it, he's looking for the foul. But I would need to say David Dickinson's inside the centre circle when he makes that call. Now, whether it's his assistant referee that's called it on the far side, possibly, but he's not close enough to make that call accurately himself.
Dessers hits the deck, the edge of the box. There's a long ball forward for Rangers, which went right through to Jamie McDonald. Dessers went down as it flew over his head. No free kick. And it's with the Morton goalkeeper. Morton have negotiated a quarter of this League Cup tie. 0-0. A long ball forward, flicked on by Oakley. The header from Muirhead's going to come right through to Jack Butland. And both goalkeepers have been called into action in the match. A couple of saves from Jamie McDonald and Jack Butland saving Robbie Muirhead's free kick. I said earlier, he's got history against Rangers. He scored both goals for Hearts in what was Robbie Nielsen's final game in charge of his first spell at Tynecastle. It was a 2-0 win for Hearts that evening. As Dowell's brought down, that one is a free kick. McGrathan the offender, and Rangers have a free kick beyond the midway point of the Morton half on this left hand side. Lundstrom wanted to take it quickly. The ref's not finished talking to the players though, and John Lundstrom is asking the question why he's not allowed to get on with it quickly, as was his wont. David Dickinson explaining why he brought it back. So I guess it's a more considered free kick opportunity here for Rangers, with a throng of players along the 18-yard line just to the back end of the D. And Jose Cifuentes has the ball placed. The magic sprays out, and an opportunity here, Leanne, for Rangers to load the box.
It is, yeah, good area. I know they wanted to play quick. John Lundstrom was really frustrated.
Cifuentes bends it in. It's just a bit too high for Dessers, and it just perhaps even skipped off the top of his head and goes behind for the goal kick on the reverse side of the goal, and it will stay Rangers 0, Greenock Morton 0 here at Ibrox.
Yeah, we saw Robbie Muirhead's free kick up there, but that was an excellent free kick again. Juventus, we get the ball in. He's only a matter of 6 inches away from putting it right on the head of the Rangers forward like that, you know, off the inside of the boot. Perfect ball into the box. Maybe should have been a little bit more made of that.
Cifuentes, one of 3 Rangers players to stay in the starting 11 from Geneva on Tuesday. Jack Butland, Connor Goldson are the other 2. Wholesale changes apart from that though from Michael Beale, who stands with his hands in his coat pockets at the edge of his technical area. Dougie Imrie to the left doing likewise, albeit arms folded. They take in the action here on Sportsound, BBC Radio Scotland on Extra and 810 medium wave. Off the ball continues on FM and on Sounds. We're here on digital as well, and of course full coverage at bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland. More League Cup action to come from 3 o'clock this afternoon. We've got 20 minutes left of the first half here at Ibrox, and Rangers could be in. Down the left hand side, Matondo into stride, into the box goes Ravi Matondo, round the goalkeeper, stopped on the line. How on earth has that stayed out? McDonald was completely and utterly out of the equation, and somehow, just when it looked as though Rangers were about to take the lead, Dara O'Connor comes from nowhere to make the block. That was a goal all day long. Yeah, it's a great recovery for Big Dara, but it's the same problem as we've had for the 25 minutes. The boys are filling the areas, Cammy Blues, but we're not stopping with challenges. Everything Rangers are providing is down this side of the park. We missed Alan Power across there at that time. It was a great ball, and we've had, again, Liam, we've had a wee bit of luck there with that, but you're going to need that if you're going to be in the game for a length of time here at Ibrox. Rangers will cause problems like that, Andy, though, when they move the ball quickly. The reality is probably for the best part of 26 minutes, as much as Rangers have controlled possession, they've not moved it with any sort of purpose, whereas when they do that on the halfway line, Matondo's got the pace to cause problems. That's why I think you can hear the frustration in the support. Why do they not look to try and move it with that type of pace and intensity more often? Yeah, we've got to get players across to stop that from happening on this side as well, you know. Central defender or central midfield player, we've got to overload this side to stop that from happening. Anything coming down the other side, Leanne's just been played in from the 18-yard line. Yeah, Sterling's been quiet in the far side. Yep. You know, this is a side, and if we have to overload that, everything that Rangers have produced so far has come down this side for Matondo. And having stopped that potential Rangers goal, Dara O'Connor's got a long throw into the Rangers box possibility here, level with the Rangers penalty spot on the near side, and it comes as flicked half away by Lundstrom. Oakley keeps it alive, and it's lashed high over the bar by Grant Gillespie, and on 27 it will stay Rangers 0. Morton. Doogie can be a bit frustrated there. He thought perhaps when that ball was won inside the box by Oakley that Morton might have been able to make more of it than they ultimately did.
Yeah, I think that's going to be where we'll have our best chances for set pieces and things round about the box, Liam. I've been encouraged with the fact that we have worked a few moves up on the deck as well by passing the ball through the middle of the park, but really our main chance of scoring goals, our main chance today will be from set pieces and corner kicks.
Andy Millen down there as well, the Morton assistant, the old warhorse. Wonder if he's still, after matches, running up and down the stairs of the main stand at Capello like he used to do at Love Street. It was fascinating post-match there. Gus McPherson would be doing the media duties, and then behind the interview you'd see Andy Millen going up and down the stairs in the main stand at Love Street as Aaron Muirhead picks up for Morton, just shifting it to the left. We roll back in by Callum Waters, and eventually it goes back to Broadfoot. It goes all the way back to Jamie McDonald. Later, commentary, St Mirren, Motherwell, Premiership high-flying clubs there. But again, that could be in Paisley. We've also got Ayr Gioni and Ross County, and Livingston against Ayr United. So the last 16 continues. And because of the European exploits of the Edinburgh clubs, they play tomorrow, both kicking off at 2. Hearts, Partick Thistle, Hibs, Raith Rovers, 3 o'clock kick-off at Rugby Park as Kilmarnock take on Celtic, the holders. Looking to inflict further damage on the other big Glasgow club, having beaten Rangers on home territory on the opening day of the Premiership season. Ifeko out to Matondo, meantime here at Ibrox, where it remains 0-0 approaching the half hour. Matondo taking on Blues down the left, a poor cross though, albeit still alive. Sterling manages to flick it back towards Cifuentes before it's met by Waters, who batters it clear out into the Govan stand on the far side. Quick throw in by Goldson to Cifuentes, back to Goldson, back to Balogun, right hand side of the centre circle, where he rolls it forward to Goldson and out onto the touchline for Cifuentes again. It's with Goldson, who's going to roll it back the way to Balogun. Balogun under pressure from Oakley finds Ifeko on this near side, and then in field, but he's given it away, and it's straight to Gillespie, who's then fouled by Cifuentes, and that will be a free kick for Morton. And the roars of frustration from the Rangers supporters.
Yeah, I think when Rangers get the ball in the middle of the park, unless they can get Cifuentes on the ball, Liam, their quality of passing isn't as good then. They're playing balls forward, it's coming off forward players and giving Morton's back for the opportunity to intercept the ball.
Here comes Morton, the edge of the area. Crawford rolls it to the right hand side. McGrattan looks up, gets the cross ball in. Butland has to leap up and clutch it before landing on the ground. As we hit 30 minutes, Rangers 0, Morton 0, but once again the championship side threatening here at Ibrox.
Yeah, they're doing really well. Good ball into the box. Jack Butland does well. He comes with both hands it in. Some goalkeepers in the modern day game probably would have took the opportunity to put 2 hands through it and punch it, but he's brave enough to look to keep the ball. But Morton will take an awful lot of confidence from this first half performance, no doubt. 30 minutes into the game, they've had probably now their fair share of chances in terms of equal opportunities. Rangers have been wasteful in possession. Again, Andy touched on it, the pace of the ball moving, not quick enough, not enough intensity, not hitting the wide areas. And Matondo here, he's on it again, Liam, but every time he gets it, he's got to the byline more often than not. It's the same type of cross and nobody's reading it. He's dinked it to the back post 2 or 3 times and nobody's read the run and there to put it into the back of the net.
Feco for Rangers on the near side, midway inside the Morton half, to the left for Matondo. Matondo taking on his man. It's a cynical pullback by Blues, who will become the first player yellow carded this afternoon. And he just gave up the ghost against Matondo there. Says the only way I'm going to stop him here is by pulling his jersey.
I think when it's like that, that's the first challenge he's had on him, so he's been booked for his first challenge. He's not been near Matondo for the other 31 minutes of this game. And there's been a lot of things, niggly wee things in the middle of the park. Mr Dickinson's could have stopped it, but I think he's been a bit rough on Cammy Blues in his first challenge in a wide area in Matondo.
It's just cynical in terms of the shirt pull though, isn't it, Andy? You don't get away with that really now in the modern day game, but it's a turn of pace from Matondo that's the issue, and he does it really well actually, because he almost slows the ball down and completely stops it, and then his turn of pace over 5 yards is rapid. There's only so many times Cammy Blues is going to look to try and chase him to the byline. Yeah,
he's a tricky player and he's got a turn of pace as well. In the good old days, Leanne would have said you can't run without legs, so somebody would have had a go at him before now.
Cifuentes takes the free kick and he puts it over the crossbar. not sure if he was trying to catch Jamie McDonald out with a shot there, but it was, in the end, it wasn't a cross, certainly, because it's way too close to the goal. You would think Jose Cifuentes has got the quality to put in a better ball than that one, so perhaps he was trying to catch out McDonald. Anyway, it remains 0-0 in 32.
Yeah, it looks as if he was trying to catch out the goalkeeper, and that probably shows you, when you take James Tavernier out the Rangers side, the quality in terms of his delivery.
Barisic
as well, yep, spot on. But you need other players to step up, because these players might not always be available either, so you need to have that plan B and a second option, but Cifuentes just lets his side down there.
How much of the fact that there's 8 changes, this is a team that won't have played together before, how much of that is down, or how much of this performance so far and the scoreline is down to that?
A lot of it, I think, Liam, but I think the reality is there's a lot of new signings in there as well who want to show what they can do, and at times there's not always going to be that opportunity. You need to learn to adjust and get to know your teammates as quickly as you possibly can, but it's just the fluidity, as I've mentioned, that's lacking.
Yeah, Sterling to the overlapping. Goldson gets the ball in, the little flick from Lammers goes well wide in the end. It was the right idea, though, from Sam Lammers as he attacked that one. The Dutchman around about the right angle of the 6-yard area, but it was well past. He's actually had quite a quiet afternoon so far, Lammers.
Yeah, he has.
He had a wee bit of a get together there with Kirk Broadfoot. He went across to try and get to the front post and dropped his elbow across Big Kirk's face on the way over, so the big fella's having a word with him there. They're bumping chests, is that what they call it? They were bumping chests with each other and having a wee word with it.
He had a good Rangers career, Kirk Broadfoot, didn't he? As I said earlier, 3 league titles, the League Cup as well, and he started that UEFA Cup final against Zenit St Petersburg in Manchester back in 2008, and here he is, returning at the age of 39 to Ibrox.
Yeah, what a CV he's got, and he's been absolutely fantastic for Morton down there with our young boys. Vastly experienced player, but also a very, very good pro as well. Kept himself right, as you can see, at 39.
Here's Matondo working the 1-2 with Dowell, but Morton clear. Fecko picks up the scraps left of the centre circle. He switches it to the right of it for Lundstrom, who will roll it with the right foot out to that right hand side. It's Sterling, it's the cross ball in, too high for Dessers. Another attack breaks down for Rangers, 11 minutes from the break, 0-0.
Yeah, Liam, you were talking about this team here. I'm watching the team here. See this team, you'll never seen this before, and I'll reckon $1 to a donut that you'll never see it again play together. So it's on the hoof a wee bit here for Rangers, and you can see that at times. A bit of miscommunication, a bit of slackness in the pass, people not really understanding each other's games. They play each other at training, but when you don't play together, it's game time it's all about.
Well, this is where the underdogs coming here will see their opportunity. Dougie Imrie talking about it pre-match that perhaps Rangers will have an eye on PSV Eindhoven here on Tuesday, but you add that to the fact that this is a new team playing together. There's the unfamiliarity that goes with that as Sterling drives forward, and his touch is going to take it behind for the goal kick, and that will add to the angst among the home fans. Yeah,
well, you can hear it, Liam, the frustration, and there's not been too much success down the right hand side with Sterling. He's looked to try and grow into the game, but just the end product in terms of that quality, a touchdown Tavernier. You know what you get with James Tavernier. I know defensively at times he can be vulnerable, but going forward he's such an asset to this Rangers team, and so far this afternoon it's a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Sterling to come in and produce what the captain does week in, week out. But Andy's touched on it there, a lot of young players in the Rangers side as well, particularly in the 2 full-back areas, which comes with that bit of pressure in terms of the quality and the end product, as we mentioned, Tavernier and Barisic. But it's up to Rangers. Listen, there's a huge crowd here this afternoon that have turned out to see them. They expect them to get through this tie and look forward to the midweek opportunity that presents itself in terms of the carrot of the Champions League.
Well, if you want to play football with pressure, don't come anywhere near Rangers and Celtic. It's just part of the gig. Just part of the gig here, and if you can show you can do that and you can get involved here, you'll play. If Michael Beale sees that that's not the case here, they won't play, simple as that, and this is the only opportunity. The only place you can do it is on the big green patch out there, and some of the Rangers players are struggling a wee bit with it now.
I was watching the game last night between Stirling Albion and Aberdeen. There were little periods in the first half, perhaps in particular, when Aberdeen were in control. They did go 2-0 up in the second half. Stirling Albion pulled one back, and at that point they were the better side. So You know, you've got no divine right as a Premiership team, and Aberdeen know that, obviously, from recent memory. You've got no divine right to walk out on the pitch and just, you know, get a walkover, effectively.
No,
Morton are here to play.
Exactly, Liam. And the thing is, we're speaking about Rangers and the amount of changes that Rangers have made, but the reality is, and the polar opposite to that is Morton, who don't have the luxury of making changes, and that can actually work in their favour because they've got the consistency, they know each other really well, they play week in, week out, they've been in a good run of form, albeit losing that game to Raith Rovers last week, but they started the season well. The League Cup form has been really good, so there will be a confidence underlying within the Morton side anyway. So if they recognise even an inch that Rangers are slightly vulnerable this afternoon, they'll get after it.
Yep, they'll have a go. This is the way Morton play. They give 100%. Dougie Emery's teams all do this. It's not going to change. It's been like that when he came in through the door. He can never, and he talks about it in interviews, you know, they give him 100%, that's all he asks for. And that's what they're doing just now. It's up to Rangers to pick holes here, to make the passing right, to make the movement right, to get the finishing right. And Morton don't have any divine right to come here and have a game.
There's Lammers getting it back from Dessers into the box. He goes. Morton get it half away, might break Dessers' way. It's a shout for handball against somebody there. I'm not sure who that would have been against. It might well have been Dessers or one of the defenders. But it's play on anyway.
I actually think it could potentially have been Lammers, Liam, just as the ball came in. He looked as if he leaned towards the ball.
Yeah, maybe the Morton fans who were roaring there. Here come Rangers again down the right with Dujon Sterling. Right angle of the box, Cifuentes with the cross, it's too deep again. Matondo will keep it in play. He's got it, it's good play by Abby Matondo, but it's a heavy touch that allows Morton in to clear the lines through McGrattan. Picked up by Dowell, the second ball. Infield it goes to Matondo, first time back out wide left for Dowell, wraps the left foot round, it's a very deep cross, headed down towards goal by Sterling. It's a comfortable take for Jamie McDonald. 38.5 minutes on the clock, Rangers 0, Morton 0.
You think back to that early challenge from Mufeko in the opening couple of minutes, really set the tone in terms of what you would have thought he was looking to try and do. And I'm kind of looking at him now, and he just looks a bit laid back, and everything just a bit nonchalant in terms of his performance, the way he's moved the ball. A couple of times some slack touches have taken him out the pitch, what Butland was.
Yeah, Butland's had to come out to the edge of his own box there. The defenders left it for him, and George Oakley was trying to sniff out a loose ball that might have potentially got him in to put Morton in front.
Yeah, I think when we answered the purpose that they showed in the first 10-15 minutes of passing Rangers has slipped back out their game for the last 20. There's a lot of possession play, but nothing's been played into forward areas unless it's coming down the side to Matondo here. And Morton will feel quite comfortable with that, Liam.
Yeah, here's Lammers though, infield to the right, Dessers, first time back to Cifuentes, rolls it to the right hand side of the box for Sterling, who looks up, chip ball, again, it's poor, he beats everyone, and it goes out to play for a throw in this near side, and once again the howls of derision from the Rangers supporters as we attack the final 5 minutes of the first half here at Ibrox. It remains goalless.
It's just that level of experience from Sterling. I don't know how precise he's trying to be with the types of deliveries that he's put in, but it's now 4 or 5 that have gone beyond the back post. And I think when you've got bodies in there, as we've seen even with the cutback from Matondo that Dara O'Connor nearly puts into his own net, anything can happen inside that 6-yard box. Just get to the byline and drill it, hit the bodies. You've got good numbers in terms of the Rangers players that are attacking the box, but he's looking for precision all the time.
Goldson knees the ball back to Butland, who collects and then rolls it straight back to the Rangers skipper for the day. Out to the right hand side it goes for Sterling, faced by Muirhead, turns it infield to Goldson. Morton were 4-0 down at Celtic Park at half time in that Scottish Cup tie last season. And a really good improvement. That was a game they started well in. Crawford to McGrattan, who rolls it back to his goalkeeper.
To be honest, that time that day, Liam, if it hadn't been for VAR, Morton would have probably been in 0-0 at Celtic Park that day. They were first 20 minutes of the game they did well.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah, good. And that was a changing point. It didn't matter to the game. Celtic would always have won the game, but it certainly affected it for a spell after that.
There's Dowell for Rangers on this near side, rolls it down the left for Matondo, level with the Morton 18, gets the cross in, diving header away by O'Connor's in a good game. Dara O'Connor, long ball forward, is going to come right through to Butland, and now Dougie Imrie will be praying that his team can get to the interval without conceding, because this is the sort of period in the game where Rangers and Celtic in particular can hit you, they can hurt you at this point.
Yeah, normally when you're having your best spell in the game, that's the times that the big teams, the Rangers and Celtic, will come at you 10 before half time and 10 after half time if you've been doing well.
It was probably the same in your day, Andy.
Yeah, nothing changes. Football's still the same. You've got to be more careful now when you've got a bit of the game and you're on top for the counter-attack and for the pace that Rangers do have up front, and if they draw you out a bit to the halfway line. So, yeah, nothing's changed.
Matondo looking to hit the byline here, drives the ball across, away it goes, up into the air from Gillespie. Still in play, McGrattan's not going to be able to keep it on the pitch, and it goes out of play for a throw into Rangers for Dowell to take, and he takes it quickly to Lammers, but he can't find Dowell with a return ball, and that's out for a throw-in on this near side. It's no secret, I think Celtic had scored something like 35 or 36 goals in the final 15 minutes of games last season, and that in the league, not all in the league, but they managed to pilfer something in the region of 13 extra points in the Premiership because of late goals scored last term. They just know how to do that. Rangers have that in their locker as well. But at the moment, Morton, 2.5 minutes from the half-time whistle, holding Rangers 0-0 here, and Balogun's in trouble. Oakley driving forward down the right, looking for support in the middle. Balogun reacts well, puts it behind though for the corner to Morton, who themselves perhaps will be eyeing up a lead at the break.
Yeah, great strength from Big George Oakley again there. On the turn, gets away from his defender as well. Bit unlucky. There wasn't really many bodies in the box for him, so he was half looking for it, but it's great strength when you're able to do that. When you're able to take your team up the park, you're the front player like that, take it in with secure possession and get a corner out of it even, it's fantastic play.
Yeah, Muirhead's going to take an in-swinging corner from the main stand side with the left foot into the near post area. It's flicked half away by Cifuentes. Power will try and keep this going for Morton, rolls it back the way into the centre circle. Pinged forward, but it's a poor one from Waters, really pretty aimless, and it was behind harmlessly. Goal kick to Rangers, stays nothing each.
I think if it stays like this, Liam, when the half-time whistle goes, you'll hear it from the Rangers fans. They won't be happy. It's not the type of performance that they would have been looking for, not the type of scoreline either.
We're going to be fighting on all fronts. They want a really strong squad that are all firing, whether they are starting players or not, on a regular basis. Sifeko picks up on this near side for Rangers, out to Matondo on the left-hand side, finds Dowell on the underlap. Dowell has it, forced out wide to this near side, he's being forced back the way as well. It goes back to Balogun, final minute of the 45. Here's Goldson to Lammers, knocks it forward, it's blocked by the hand, free kick to Rangers, and this is in a good position here. This is probably around about 25 yards from goal, ever so slightly left to centre. So this could be the opportunity that Rangers and their supporters were looking for as we knock on half-time in this League Cup tie.
We're absolutely delighted to see Taberner's not playing here today anyway. That's his prime position, straight in the middle of the goal, bending free kick round the wall like that. Mr Dickinson was in the right position to see that. Cifuentes played a nice little ball through again, and it broke off Morton defender and come up and hit the hand. I think it was there at a corner like that, so he's in the right position, he's made the right decision, no complaints there.
Cifuentes and Dowell both over the free kick then. Cifuentes with the right or Dowell with the left? Looks like it's going to be Dowell, goes for goal, and McDonald puts it past. It's a brilliant save by Jamie McDonald. That was arching towards that far corner. Really good hit by Dowell, but Jamie McDonald, for the third time in this first half, keeps Rangers out, and it stays 0-0 as we go into first half stoppage time.
That's an outstanding save from Jamie McDonald. Kieran Dowell does really well.
Dowell takes the corner, the header is wide and high from Goldson, who was on his way down as well, and it stays Rangers 0, Morton 0, and if the Tons survived the late first half onslaught from Rangers.
Yeah, it looks as if they have two big chances for Rangers. As I say, Kieran Dowell worked the ball really well. It's going to nestle in the side net, and Jamie McDonald does ever so well to work his feet. Two strong hands and turns it round the post, and then another big chance for Connor Goldson. Just doesn't do enough to keep it on target. The physical battle, Morton have certainly matched Rangers in this 45 minutes of football. I'm sure Dougie Emery will be pleased.
Half time at Ibrox. Rangers have been unable to make the breakthrough against their championship visitors, and Morton have done themselves proud in that first half, and the more than 2,000 fans over on that far side between the Broomloan and Govan stands as they acclaim their heroes at the break. The players heading up the tunnel here with the referee, the last man off the pitch, talking to the Morton midfielder Alan Power. Jamie McDonald's made 3 outstanding saves. Such an experienced campaigner, such a good goalkeeper he still is, rolling back the years today as he denied Matondo early on with his foot. He then had to make a couple of other saves, including one from Dessers, who smashed a powerful effort at him. He saved practically point blank range, and then that save from the Dowell free kick just on half time. There were also opportunities though for Morton. Darragh O'Connor, of course, for a superb game at the back. He's helped at times at set plays and won a couple of headers, and Jack Butlin had to make a save from a Robbie Muirhead free kick, which was powering towards goal on target. It was a terrific piece of goalkeeping. It was a wonderful hit by Muirhead as well. And back up the other end, Rangers had won off the line by O'Connor after McDonald was caught out that time. Really good run by Matondo. O'Connor was in the right place. He got a bit of luck as one other effort into the box fell at O'Connor's feet. It bounced off him and fell favourably for McDonald in the Morton goal. So that means at half-time, Morton by far and away the happier of the two sides against this Rangers team that's been put together by Michael Beale. 8 changes from the draw in Geneva against Servette in Champions League qualifying on Tuesday evening. They'll hope they're not paying a big price for that come full time. At half-time, it's Rangers 0, Greenock Morton 0.
The Scottish League Cup.
This is the chance they've been waiting for. Cross-court comes back for it.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
So far, so good for the Championship side at Ibrox this afternoon. Tom English is alongside me in the studio. Morton giving a very good account of themselves, Tom.
Really good. They look, okay, they're under the cosh at various points, but defensively, Jamie McDonald goal, brilliant. Rangers are, they've obviously made the bulk of the chances, but they've given up a few chances as well. Morton have been really, really good. I thought they'd be behind already, but they're not. And they look confident.
What about the players getting their opportunity today? 8 changes made by Michael Beale ahead of this game. I think about Matondo as a guy that seems to have come back into favour a wee bit. He gets a rare start today. Has he done enough? Has he given Michael Beale something to think about?
Depends on what else he has at his disposal. I don't think Matondo has done... He's buzzed around quite a bit.
He's got pace, hasn't he? Which a lot of people say is lacking in this Rangers squad.
Put it this way, he still hasn't convinced me or too many other people, I would imagine, that he is the solution on that side of the park. He flatters to deceive. He can be very, very good. He can be effective, and then he can be quiet and out of the game. It's still a work in progress. That's the expression that Michael Beale used last week. It's still the case today against inferior opposition who are playing really well. The attacking function of this team hasn't bedded in yet. They look, I don't know, they don't look like they're on the same page. Now I said this exactly around this time last week, and they went on and they won the game handsomely. They have goal scorers in their team. They just look as if they're kind of second guessing each other, and maybe that's inevitable.
Yeah, certainly we saw that in the European fixtures. That has been the case. It seems to be taking a bit of time. Andy Ritchie, you must be very proud of this Morton side so far today.
Yeah, they've had the great first 45 minutes like that, you know. There's been 1 or 2 bits of problems to on the left-hand side like that. You were talking about Matondo there. You know, he's got himself a trick. He's got a bit of pace. He's direct. He can deliver the ball in the box. Dougie Emery will be in there at half-time, getting our boys to show him in the park a little bit more. Any time that he has made these moves inside the park, it's fizzled out and we've really had nothing from it. So I'm sure Dougie and Andy Millen down there will be making sure that down the line will not be an auction as often it's been in the first half. But the Morton boys have been fantastic. But I knew that, Kenny, before I come up. This is a Dougie Emery way of doing things.
Yeah.
He's got the place organised. He's got the guys working hard. He's got them committed. They're full of confidence. Everything that you're seeing out here for the first 45 minutes is what people at Greenock have seen for the last 15 months. So it's not really any great surprise.
Leanne, you'll have seen a lot of Jamie McDonald in the Championship. I've always thought he was a terrific goalkeeper. It's shot stopping, it's absolutely outstanding.
Brilliant, as you say, outstanding, and really surprised that Raith Rovers let him go, I would need to say. And he's a huge count for Dougie Imrie and Greenock Morton. Brilliant signing for them, and he could be the difference, certainly in the Championship. 9 to 12 points a season, that's how important it could be, especially when Morton have got the numbers that they've got at times. They don't have the luxury of rotating players. They're going to need to go with the same bodies week in, week out, and when those bodies start to get tired, when it gets to that winter period and you're asking for your goalkeeper to stand up and be counted like he has done this afternoon, as I say, he's a huge signing and he's shown his qualities throughout this afternoon. Brilliant saves, and the one from Kieran Dowell just towards the end with a free kick, worked his feet. There's still legs clearly in the old dog yet, as they say, and two strong hands to turn it round the post. And what I love about Jamie McDonald as well is he plays the game with a smile on his face. He never takes things too seriously, communicates with his players all the time, and even the one that Dara O'Connor, as I say, nearly turned into the back of his net, just gave him a cheeky smile and get back up to his feet. So a brilliant performance from the goalkeeper in that 45 minutes, but Dougie Imrie will be really pleased with every single player that he's got out there in the pitch, because they've executed the game plan, which clearly looks like this would have been the game plan, to stay in the game, be compact, be robust, don't offer up Rangers too many opportunities, and go and have a wee bite and a niggle if you can, and they've looked to do that certainly at the other end.
Leanne, have you sensed a frustration from the Rangers fans there?
Massive frustration. Yeah, you can hear it all the time, but I actually think to a point the Rangers fans are used to it, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but we've heard the moans and groans about the way Rangers play, that it's quite pedestrian at times. They don't move the ball with a lot of speed and intensity. They don't have the same quality in terms of the goal scoring attributes that they've had in years gone by. When you look at Alfredo Morelos and the goals that he offered at a certain point, you've now got guys that are looking to show what they're worth. And there's a time and a place for that, but this afternoon Rangers, as I said earlier on, they're looking to get this tie done and dusted. They're looking to get this finished. They're looking to get bodies off and bodies on and rotate the squad and utilise the squad. And the Rangers fans have turned out in brilliant numbers again, knowing that would have been the type of game that it was, but knowing that it's a potential banana skin as well. And the players on the pitch, I would need to say, they've not risen to the occasion at all. They've not seized their opportunity. If this is players that are looking to get an opportunity today, there's not been enough intensity, there's not been enough drive, there's not been enough passion in the way they look to move the ball and replicate the same types of moments. We've spoken about Matondo on this left hand side, and he's getting the beating of Cammy Blues every single time he slows it down and he shifts it and gets to the byline. But Matondo wants to slow it down and go in the pitch. He wants to slow it down and go back the way, and then the odd occasion he gets to the byline. That's not what the Rangers fans are looking for. They're looking for consistency, as I say, in terms of repetition. So it'll be interesting to see what the second half looks like and what Michael Beale's got to say to his players.
Andy, you'll understand that frustration from the Rangers fans. You had the ability, you could beat a man, your delivery was second to none in your day. You can understand. We keep hearing that Michael Beale has signed these technically gifted players. He's paid a lot of money for some of these players, but so far we've not seen them really deliver.
No, well that comes with the gig. Rangers and Celtic, Kenny, as I said earlier on, this is the opportunity for the 8 changes in the team and others round about as well, to show that they really should be here. You can talk about it, newspapers, the media, everybody can talk about it, but this is where you're judged, on the green bit here on a Saturday or a Wednesday, and the supporters will make their judgment there and then. This is what they're doing now, and some of the Rangers players just went off the game after about 10-15 minutes, as if they were a little bit unsure about what was going on round about them, and I mean by their teammates. Now, they've only been together probably about 6, 7, 8 weeks, some of them like that, and as I've said before, training is a different ball game to coming here and having to play competitively with somebody opposite you who's not going to allow you to play, and you're not really too sure about the attributes of your players round about you as well. So they're sort of feeling their way through the game here. Don't get it wrong here, Kenny. There's a lot more to come from Rangers, and it will probably come in the second half. But as far as the first half is concerned, yeah, the supporters will do a little bit grumbling, but what they're saying is, hey, you're here now, you show us what you can do, you show us whether you can make us a better team, make us a more competitive team, and we'll support you then, but we ain't just going to throw it at you for nothing.
There's goals in the bench, Andy, in terms of Akema, Roof and Tom Lawrence, as we mentioned, can get back in. We know Seema grabbed a goal last week, but it took Rangers until the latter stages of the game last week at Ibrox for it then to open up and they go and score 3 goals later on. But I don't look at the Rangers bench really and think there's there's game changers there. What there is guys that need service, and what we've seen in the opening 45 minutes, that there's not been a lot of quality in service. We've spoken about the deliveries off the right hand side with Sterling as he's looked to get beyond in the game. Matondo, I mentioned inconsistency. And then behind that, you've got guys in the middle of the pitch that want to can always play underneath the ball. Kieran Dibbles maybe the one that will look to go beyond. We've seen his goal last week here against Livingston, very, very good top draw stuff, but he doesn't look to show an awful lot of that, certainly in this 45 minutes. So I don't think Dougie Emery will be overly concerned with the types of changes that Rangers can make. It's almost like for like, in my opinion.
Well, I think the two boys you're talking about there, the boys that played last season, Tom Lawrence and Kemar Roof, Michael Beale knows what they can do. The punters have seen these guys here, they understand them, they know what's coming. What he's actually doing today is he's put these boys on the park and he's saying, well, I brought you here, I have confidence in you, but you've got to portray that on the park as well. You've got to go about it in the proper manner, show us what your strengths are, show us what you're good at, let the supporters get behind you, get a goal. Big Dessers in the middle looks a handful physically, but he's not really put himself about in the box. Kurt Broadfoot and Darragh O'Connor really haven't been troubled by the crosses, especially coming in from the right hand side for Sterling. He's either under-hit them or played them over the top of the left winger here, Matondo. So, he's never had a chance. There was a wee bit at the end there when Dessers and Kurt Broadfoot had a wee tussle just outside the box 10 minutes before half-time there. And really, that's the first time that they'd been involved in a physical challenge at all. I think you'll need to do more, Dessers, or Roof will be on. There are no two ways about that. The longer this game goes without a goal for Rangers, you better believe there'll be changes. But these are the guys that can come in and play these games, Kenny, and then you don't see them again for 10 or 12 weeks, and before we know it, it's Christmas time. This is their opportunity here, and don't be kidded. I've said before, you come here, this is a gig. You put up with the pressure, you put up what's going on round about you in the terraces. You need to prove that you're able to handle that as well.
Yeah, and this second half is when they got to handle it. They've got to manage this game. You'd expect them to, but there are question marks. There are, you get the big salary, you get the big move to Rangers, and that's great. You get the money, you get the big crowd, but you get the big pressure as well. And these guys have to handle that. And the jury's out, and the jury will remain out until they start settling in this team and showing what Michael Beale thinks he sees.
Yeah, and they'll hear it from these Rangers fans in the second half. My goodness, the pressure will be on. And it's important that we speak about supporters. They play a big part in this programme. It's a new addition to our programme, 5:30. We get fans of various clubs on, and 2,000 Morton fans were at Celtic Park in January in the Scottish Cup, 2,000 there at Ibrox today, and it won't have been an easy time recently for Morton fans. It's a terrific turnout, isn't it?
Fantastic. But the supporters down in Greenock have got behind the new regime now. We're a club, we're supporters based, we're supporters run now, run by Morton Club Together, Morton supporters, and it's changing times. But the biggest asset of all that is the change of management in the team here now. Bringing Dougie Emery in has been great for Morton. He's given back the old let's make Capello a fortress, let's make things difficult for people. Unfortunately, during the week there, I was at a funeral. Benny Rooney, the old manager that I played with down there at Capello, and I've said it often down at Capello and at Morton at occasions. I see a lot of Benny Rooney and Dougie, a lot of Dougie Emery through Benny Rooney.
Yeah.
He's got the same way about him. It's a no-nonsense, 100%. Doesn't go overboard about players, but he gets players to do a turn for him. And also, he's not that long finished playing himself, so the vast majority of these signings for Morton that have made, George Oakley and the rest of the boys that have come in, Dougie played against all these guys. And that's what Benny Rooney did at Morton when he built himself a wee team as well down there.
He knows their character, doesn't he? And that's important.
He's had them in dressing rooms at Hamilton Accies, and he's played with them as well. He knew George through Hamilton Accies like that. They've all come in, so he knew what they were going to bring to the club. And as I said, if you give 100% and you're doing your best down there, and the people understand budgets and everything else at Capello, they're no daft. They only want their team to go and give people a game. That's what they're talking about, and that's what's happening at Morton right at this moment in time. I'm glad to report.
Yeah, and they're performing very well at Ibrox so far, Tom. Just before we go back to commentary, the teams are coming out there. We have 3 kick-offs at 3 o'clock. Full commentary of St Mirren against Motherwell. We'll have updates from Livy against A United, Airdrie against Ross County. Your thoughts for the 3 o'clocks?
Airdrie Ross County looks a really interesting one. Airdrie won 5 out of their 6 so far this season, 3 out of 3 at home. Ross County had a decent start to the season, so that should be decent. Ayr in decent form. Livy off the field a complete shambles. I see Chairman John Ward talking about boardroom civil war, a power struggle, losing lots of money, legal battles. Ayr have an opportunity there, and St Mirren Motherwell, that looks tasty.
Could be a cracker. Lots to look forward to. Let's then get back to Ibrox. Rangers against Morton with Leanne, Andy and Liam McLeod.
Morton's last win over Rangers came when they last met in the top flight. They won 3-2 at Capello. Derek Collins, Tommy Turner, Ryan Alexander scoring the goals against Graham Souness's team in what was their first home win over Rangers in almost 70 years at the time. Can they cause a shock here at Ibrox as Rangers get the second half underway? No changes for either team. So Rangers in the blue shirts, white shorts, black socks with the red tops. Morton in the all yellow. It is Butland in goal for the home team. Sterling, Goldson, Balogun, Ifeko, Lundstrom, Dowell, Cifuentes, Matondo on the left. Lammer supporting Dessers. For Morton, it's McDonald in goal, McGrattan, O'Connor, Broadfoot, Waters, Blues playing it right back. Power, Gillespie, Crawford, Muirhead and Oakley as the ball goes behind for an early goal kick here as it breaks down on the right hand side. For Rangers, who have got Robbie McCrory as the sub goalie, Hadji, Lawrence, Seema, Roof, King, Devine, Danilo and young Bailey Rice is also on the bench, 16 years of age. He is a midfield player, having initially been at the Motherwell Youth Academy. So are you surprised that Michael Beale hasn't gone to the subs yet, Leanne?
Not overly surprised. I'm going to assume that it has been one of those half-time team talks that you say to your group of players, you've got 10-15 minutes to go and change it and produce a bit more than you've already shown, otherwise I'll look to the bench. And I think they probably deserve that opportunity in terms of the fact that the manager's made the amount of changes that he's made this afternoon, 8 changes. He has to take responsibility for that as well, and I'm sure Rangers at half-time will have looked to address some of the, not even issues, but just lack of quality in the final third.
Here come Morton down the right-hand side. They're attacking the Broomloan Road end, and they've got a free kick. Of course, their supporters are housed at that end of Ibrox. Rangers shooting towards Copeland Road in the second half, and it's a Morton free kick over on that far side touchline, which is the ball is sitting at the moment about level with the edge of the centre circle. Be a few yards further forward than that, over on that Govan stand touchline, and Blues is over it. Morton have brought some players from the back forward to try and get on the end of this. Headed away though by Sterling, breaks to Power, rolls it back to Blues over on that far side. Low ball up the lines, cut out by Matondo and out for a Morton throw-in as they look to get a little feel of the ball early in the second half. Matondo's gone down as if he's been hit by something. Over on the far side, he bounces back up though, and there's no complaints. I'm not sure what went on there, but anyway, it's a Morton throw-in over on the far side. It looks as though this might actually be left for Dara O'Connor to take a long throw and try and trouble that Rangers defence. O'Connor drying the ball with his jersey over on that far side. Morton, it was a good first half showing from them. Can they threaten here? Early in the second, and it comes. Balogun's challenge might break to the back post, and Butland scrambling, backpedaling, and he puts it behind. And there was an appeal for a penalty just before that, Leanne.
It's spot on. I'm just looking at Dugemne. He's gone mad down in the touchline, and I think he's got a case. It'll be interesting to see whether they looked at it. I've got a feeling that there's a slight delay.
Yeah, they're checking it. They're checking for a possible penalty to Morton here at Ibrox.
I actually think it could be. I've not had a look at it again, but I think no, it's going on, but
no, game on.
It's
no
Balogun,
penalty.
and he's all over the back of George Oakley. It's a nonsense.
The corner comes in, it's headed away just in front of him. That might be a penalty this time. There was the challenge there on Kurt Broadfoot inside the box. Rangers will play on though. Matondo driving down the right hand side. McGrattan slides in with the challenge, and it goes out for a throw-in on this near side. 0-0 here, but drama already in the second half at Ibrox.
Yeah, huge drama.
It looked as if he had just kept Broadfoot on the way back out there. He certainly taking his time to get back again and complaining about it, big Kip, like that, but I don't even know if they're going to have a look at that or not.
Yep, he's listening to the fourth official, Gavin Duncan. Well, the first one Rangers survived, the penalty appeal. Will they survive this one? This was Leon Balogun with a kind of lazy looking challenge on the former Ranger Kurt Broadfoot inside the Rangers box.
I think they've got a case, Liam. If I'm being honest, probably the time delay here will tell you that there's a fair bit of interrogation with the VAR team that will be looking back at it.
There was certainly contact, Leanne, there's no doubt about that.
Balogun doesn't look as though he gets any of the ball.
Yeah. And it did look as if it was contact. It was contact I was looking for, first of all. And I thought he did. I thought he's caught the boot of Kurt Broadfoot like that. He's made it look dramatic, eh?
Yeah, I think that's probably why David Dickinson's not given it. The angle that we've seen it back, it is certainly not clear enough or close enough to see how much contact there is. But as I say, it always comes down to this time delay, and you know they're having to slow it down in the VAR room and look back at it.
Yeah, he's going to come and look at it. David Dickinson's been asked to come over and have a look at it, and our Morton about to be awarded a sensational penalty here at Ibrox, which would give them the chance to take the lead against Rangers. They've never beaten Rangers in the League Cup, and David Dickinson's over and he's looking at the monitor right in front of us. Dougie Imrie at the edge of his technical area with the water bottle in his right hand. He's got his hand in the pocket on the other side. David Dickinson having a long, lingering look at this challenge by Leon Balogun. Big moment, this. Big moment.
Yeah, definitely contact. No doubt about it. There's definite contact here.
What do you think, Leanne? Penalty?
There's contact. I think the reaction for me from Dessau is the fact that he acts as if he's been caught probably tells you everything you need to know.
David Dickinson's made his mind up. He's the sign of the telly, and he gives Morton the penalty. To the joy of the Ton fans over on the far side. Morton have a penalty here against Rangers at Ibrox. Now, last season, Partick Thistle were awarded a spot kick in the Scottish Cup tie here. Kevin Holt dispatched it. That's the only penalty that Rangers have conceded domestically since a year past January, when Lewis Ferguson scored for Aberdeen at Pittodrie in a league game. So it is a rarity. But Morton have a huge chance here. And Grant Gillespie, Andy Ritchie, has the ball in his hands, and he's spotting it up.
Yeah, they usually have a little bit of fight between Robbie Muirhead and Grant for penalty kicks, but he scored the last one, so he's fully entitled to step up here and try.
What a moment this is. Jack Butland stands on his goal line. He's jockeying around on it at the moment. And it is the Morton skipper, Grant Gillespie, with the right-footed penalty here against Butland. Massive moment coming in. Here he goes, right-footed, scores! Bottom left-hand corner. Perfect penalty from Gillespie. And it's bedlam in the away end here at Ibrox as Morton, Greenock Morton, strike a hammer blow in this League Cup tie. And a stunning scoreline at Ibrox Stadium of Rangers 0, Morton 1.
Yeah, let the show begin now. If that doesn't waken up the Rangers guys now to what's going on here at Ibrox, nothing ever will. Fantastic for Morton, and for the first 50 minutes of this game, it's no more than Morton deserved. I watched the penalty again there, Liam, and how Michael Dickinson doesn't see the penalty kick from where he is, and he has to go back to VAR to allow him to make the decision. That's not the real deal for David Dickinson, is it?
I think you can probably give him the benefit of the doubt, Andy, to be fair. I think when you look at it back, yes, there's contact, but there's not a huge amount of contact. It's still a penalty, I'm not taking that away from Morton, but the reality is that when you have VAR in the top flight, that's what you see referees doing. They don't make those impulse decisions the same way they do in the championships, which, by the way, I enjoy, and I'm not taking that away. But I think the fact they've looked at it, he's gone to the monitor and he's made the decision that he feels right. It's a huge moment for Morton, a brilliant penalty from Grant Gillespie, because there's a huge amount of pressure when you've got that opportunity to go ahead at Ibrox, and he dealt with that pressure extremely well.
Sterling for Rangers, looking to react, gets his cross in, headed away by the man who just scored the penalty, Gillespie. Back out to Sterling, right foot ball comes in, Broadfoot gets it away this time. Rangers have to up the ante here. It's been a pedestrian performance at times, and they've just had a huge hammer blow here against the championship side, who have gone in front. And it is Sterling down the line to Cifuentes, low ball across, clear by Gillespie again. It's just not good enough from a Rangers point of view, but Dougie Imrie will feel that his goalkeeper has earned his side the chance to build the foundations in this cup tie and to get themselves in front. Jamie McDonald, the hero in the first half. Grant Gillespie in the second with a penalty. As Dowell plays the ball into the box, headed away by Broadfoot. It's going to go behind for a Rangers corner. Important times this for Morton. They do not want to concede immediately.
Now they've got to look at it now and make sure that everybody's picking up, everybody's concentrating 100% like that. Got themselves in front, but it's a long way to go here, and Dougie Emery will know that as well. Morton are going to have to try and keep the game quiet.
Danilo and Seymour coming on as the corner comes into the Morton box. It's Balogun, he shoots, it's blocked, might even have come off the post there. He's got a second chance. Morton get it half away. Goldson picks up, goes round the houses, left hand side of the box to the byline. Under pressure though he is, and it's going to be a free kick I think to Rangers over on that far side for a foul by Alan Power. Rangers free kick. It's going to be a triple change, in fact Hadji's also down there. Triple change for Rangers and by Michael Beale, because he knows they're in a hole right now.
They're in a huge hole, Liam, and they need to dig themselves out. I thought the players would have been given 10 minutes, and Michael Beale has struggled to get the 10 minutes to change it this half. He really should have changed it at half time when you look at the performance that they've shown.
Rangers free kick though over on the far side. Jose Cifuentes is over it, right footed, at level with the Morton penalty spot, the left hand side of the box. Cifuentes with it then, right footed, and it comes to the back post, and Balogun on the stretch, he can't make any real contact, and he just bundles it behind for the goal kick, and it will stay Rangers 0, Morton 1. What a moment this has been, that was, for the Greenock side to take the lead here. They've never beaten Rangers in a League Cup tie. Only one cup tie in the history of this fixture in the Scottish or League Cups have Morton come out on top, and it was that 1922 Scottish Cup final 101 years ago. The first player to come off is Lammers, who's been pretty ineffectual today.
I actually think there might be a check going on here, Liam, because David Dickinson won't allow the substitution to be made while the check's happening. I think that's why he slowed Lammers down from leaving the pitch.
What are we thinking then? A penalty for... Yeah. Well, they're announcing the subs, and now he's allowing them to be made. But they are checking a possible penalty in the background for Rangers, who have just gone behind to a penalty a few minutes ago. So looks like Balogun's coming off as well. A proper shake-up this by Michael Beale, as the guys get an opportunity to see a replay of whatever Gavin Duncan, the VAR's watching back.
I have no idea, Liam, unless they think it's come off the hand of a Morton player as it's come in at the back post, but certainly nothing clear and obvious for me to see off the one replay that we've had.
They've announced the subs, but they're not making them yet. Now he's going to look at this one as well. David Dickinson's going to come across.
Oh, it's a shirt pull, Liam. It's a shirt pull at the back post
on Balogun.
On Balogun, yeah. I actually don't think he's getting on the end of the ball regardless, but there's a clear fistful of the jersey.
Broadfoot.
Yeah, just at the back post.
Well, once again, he's over looking at the monitor down on this near side. Once again, Dougie Emery's very interested as to what might come here. We're just over 2 minutes shy of the hour at Ibrox, with Morton leading by 1-0, but is that lead about to be wiped out almost immediately? He's seen enough replays. Onto the pitch comes David Dickinson. Rangers penalty! A penalty apiece. Will it be one apiece after this is taken though? Yellow for Kirk Broadfoot too. Well, there you go. Rangers have a chance for a quick-fire equaliser here in this League Cup tie.
It's a lifeline, isn't it? A lifeline they've been handed, because the performance has been miles off it, and Kirk Broadfoot, he's got a hold of the jersey, but I would probably say it's for a second or two at most. I thought there was too much pace in the ball, and I don't think Balogun was getting on the end of it. Andy, you might disagree with me. Yeah, but it's a soft penalty, and it's probably naive from Kirk Broadfoot, and shows you the lack of experience that he's got with VAR as well. The fact that these types of incidents are looked at, and they're looked at week in, week out.
We'll go back to it in a moment, Andy, because Cyril Dessers has the ball on the spot now. The Rangers number 9 got his first for the club against Servette in that first leg in Champions League qualifying, right in front of the Copeland Road end. Rangers' new number 9 stands and waits for the whistle, which comes. Dessers now begins his run-up, right-footed penalty coming up, and he sends the keeper the wrong way and fires it into the right-hand corner of the net. It is a penalty Ibrox. Cyril Dessers ties up this League Cup last 16 tie in Glasgow. It is Rangers 1, Morton 1.
Yeah, the ball that came in for the initial cross for the penalty there. It was a soft effort all ways round. Kip Broadfoot is caught wrong side a little bit and has to put his hand across. Now, I'm not too sure, Leanne, whether he's got any of the jersey or whether it's just a hand movement. But they're the kind of things that VAR now are going to dissect. We were talking about it before the game. They'll dissect everything down to make sure that anything happens in round about the box. And as I said to you, Morton players and Championship players aren't used to that type of thing. They get away with it 9 times out of 10 on a Saturday. They won't get away with it under VAR now, and this is the way they have to work it.
Well, this time last year, it's still 0-0. There wouldn't have been a penalty awarded without the VAR. David Dickinson was told to come over and look at the monitor on both occasions, and it was 2 incidents that he let go in open play. Gavin Duncan, the VAR, has the opportunities to watch the replays. He advised him to come over and have a look, and the referee reversed both decisions, and that means it's 1 apiece here. So still a fascinating cup tie, but Morton have had their lead wiped out, and Rangers are on the attack, having brought on those fresh legs as well. What a brilliant challenge by Gillespie and Matondo that was. Excellent. Rangers, Sterling, Balogun and Lammers all coming off, Leanne, for Rangers.
No, it's brilliant from Grant Gillespie. Liam, sorry for cutting across you, but that's what you need. You need players to put their body in the line. A brave challenge. Matondo, I think, was looking for the foul, but he's not going to get it.
Hadji, Danilo and Sima have all come on for Rangers, as Matondo has a yellow card flashed in his face over on the far side. Morton have a free kick. Remember, extra time if required, penalties if required, and it's going to be a Morton free kick over on the far side.
Liam Morton didn't get the chance after the penalty kick there that they had for maybe 3 or 4 or 5 minutes just to settle back in again and get everything organised. The foul that Alan Power made on the far side, which allowed the free ball in for the cross for the goal for the penalty kick, shouldn't have happened as well, which they kept Rangers out in the side areas without being able to play the ball in free. And we didn't get the 2 or 3 minutes just to regroup again and get our heads back together.
Yeah, I mean, 7 minutes between the goal, but clearly the VAR check took up a big chunk of that. So the free kick comes in, headed away by Danilo. The night to forget in Geneva the other night, but there's a chance. Gillespie's come stolen at the back post, challenged by Butland, who got plenty of the ball. I think Gillespie's not complaining for a foul in the area, and it will remain at 1 apiece. Just for a moment there, Grant Gillespie's eyes would have lit up. It stays 1 apiece.
Yeah, good play again from Morton, just putting the ball in behind. Rangers don't deal with it. Gillespie gambles and gets himself in, but Butland spreads his body really well. He's brave, throws himself in front of it and does enough to keep the ball.
Here come Rangers out to the right hand side for Sima. His first goal against Livingston last weekend, as he gets the low ball in, it comes off the defender, headed away by Power, breaks to Yanis Hadji on this near side. Hadji looking for some space, looking for a teammate, finds one in Sima on the right hand touchline, heading towards the byline. Good challenging by Waters, going to go out of play for a Rangers corner. Off to our right, on the Rangers right, as they attack the goal to the right. We played almost 63, 1 apiece. Chance here for Hadji to fling the ball into the Morton box, and a chance to turn this cup tie around in relative double quick time. In swinger from Hadji, flicked on there by Danilo at the right angle of the 6-yard area. It comes.
Yeah, it was a corner.
Back off a Morton player, but a goal kick's been given by David Dickinson. Yeah,
it looked like it came off Dara corner like that when it went over. That's why they were complaining about it, you know. Morton certainly weren't complaining, but the rest of the Rangers players inside the box. And Mr. Dickinson got it wrong again there by awarding the goal kick like that.
League Cup ties to come at 3 o'clock. Ayr and Ross County, Livingston, Ayr United. We'll have commentary of St Mirren against Motherwell, who are both flying high in the Premiership. There's also action in the Championship. Arbroath taking on Queen's Park. There are 4 games in League 1, and there's a full card in League 2 as well. We'll keep you across that from 3 o'clock this afternoon. Tomorrow you've got 3 more League Cup ties to come. You've got Hearts against Partick Thistle, Hibs Raith Rovers and Kilmarnock against Celtic. That'll be all live on Sunday Sports Sound, and following all that will be the draw for the quarter-finals as Danilo robs Broadfoot, driving forward. Danilo now looking for space to shoot. He does, it's deflected. Dessers gives chase, it's up into the air, and Jamie McDonald will prevent it from crossing the line under serious pressure from Cyril Dessers. But it's a hold of ball there for Jamie McDonald. You'll be happy about that, and Leanne as well. Cyril Dessers will be very happy that he's managed to get his second Rangers goal, because he had a tough afternoon last week against Livingston.
Yeah, of course he will, regardless of whether it's come from the spot or not. And he's put himself about today. There just hasn't been enough quality in terms of the delivery. There's not been enough service, but he's grafted, and he's the one player that's kind of looking to try and make a difference. But any type of striker takes a lot of confidence from goals, and he's managed to do that today.
You're already seeing more movement from the Rangers players, positive movement since the changes, since the goal. All that's going to be a boost to them. So Morton have to try and just get through these next 10-15 minutes and hope they're still in the tie in the closing stages and potentially force extra time. Here's Seema on the right hand side of the Morton box. Of course, they might get a chance themselves up the other end. Back to Lundstrom though. Crosses in with the right foot, headed away by Broadfoot, only as far as Fuentes, who lays it back to Hadji. Hadji looks to shoot, but he's ballooned that one well wide of the left hand post, and it stays on 65.5 minutes. Rangers 1, Morton 1.
Yeah, there's more life in Rangers since the penalty equaliser like that. A little bit of spring in their step, but Leanne touched on it there 5 minutes ago as well. The quality's still poor always round. You know, they're cutting in on balls that they really should be playing to each other to set up for opportunities, and they're wildly shooting the goal like that, like Hadji's last one there. Certainly the pace has picked up, but the quality hasn't.
Morton's best league performance was in 63-64 when they reached the final. Beat Motherwell and Hibs after replays in the quarters and semis respectively, before being hammered by Scott Simon's Rangers. Jim Forrest scored 4. Not to the semis the following year, lost to Celtic, and we beat them 7-1 in the semis 2 years after that when they were European champions. And as Rangers come down the left, Matondo fires it across the face of goal, and it's cleared by Waters. Both Dessers and Danilo were in and around the area, but neither could get onto it. It's picked up by Crawford, who gives it away rather meekly there to Fuentes, but he can't find a teammate. Morton have it in the Rangers half, albeit it's been won back over on the far side by Fecco. Goes back to his goalkeeper. One apiece at Ibrox.
It's a great delivery from Matondo, Liam. Somebody's got to be on the end of it.
Long ball, Seema almost got in behind Waters. Managed to somehow get between the man and the ball and pinch it back for the visitors. Gillespie has it, wanted too long, brought down, referee's happy with it. Dessers will feed it through to Danilo inside the box, chops onto the right and scores! Danilo fires it past McDonald, and Morton from a leading position gifted it back to their hosts there, and Dessers threaded it to the left hand side of the box to Danilo, who skipped infield and rifles it past McDonald. He had a tough old night in Geneva on Tuesday, missed an absolute sitter, but he's just put Rangers in front in a cup tie they were losing. Rangers 2, Morton 1, with a quarter of this match to play.
That's a good finish from Danilo. Really good play, although Grant Gillespie, he gets caught in possession of the ball and he's still flat out and he's back in the grass just now. Looks like his afternoon's finished, whether he's rolled the top of the ball or not, but he looked for too much time. Rangers worked back in defensively really well. More urgency, as we've mentioned, more intensity since the changes have come onto the pitch, and Danilo does really well. Cool, calm, chops it back in the right hand side and doesn't give Jamie McDonald a chance. He does well to get down to his right hand side, but he was never going to keep it out.
Yeah, that's the quality I was talking about there inside the box. Quality and composure on the ball for Danilo there. You know, Gillies get caught on the ball. He really shouldn't have. He's been caught. He should have just played it in behind the Rangers back four and went up the park together. And Dara's made nothing of a challenge inside the box on Danilo. He's actually took himself out the game with the challenge. But Danilo's composure in the box and finish was excellent. And that's what's been missing a little bit in the Rangers game today, the quality round about the box.
Yeah, and this will be a worry for Dougie Emery, because Grant Gillespie is limping pretty heavily off the pitch here. He's overdone something. He's going to be replaced by Academy graduate Alex King, who's got an opportunity to to try and impress here. And Andy, when you look at the way Grant Gillespie's coming off, he might have even more opportunities to impress in the weeks ahead.
Yeah, he picked up a knock earlier on in the season as well and had missed a couple of games, Gillespie. So yeah, that's quite worrying. As we spoke about earlier on, the size of Dougie Emery's squad doesn't allow for things like that, Liam, you know.
That's the problem.
It's a major problem. Even today, you know, we've got a goalkeeper on the bench. We've got Jack Baird, who's just back from an operation, still has stitches in his hand, and 2 kiddies. You know, that's what it's all about here, you know. And we've just got to keep our composure a wee bit. We've done well to stay in the game there, but Rangers turned the screw on us a wee bit now, and we've just got to stick together for the next 10-15 minutes.
Crowd of just shy of 39,000 inside Ibrox this afternoon as Dowell wins it back over on the far side of Blues. He's driving forward. You feel Rangers are probably going to take command of this cup tie now. Dowell into the box. Chance here for Rangers to add another. Dessers overcooks it though, breaks back to Hadji, and McDonald tips it over. First time left-footed effort from the Romanian, who will be desperate for a goal. Hasn't scored, I don't think, since his return from the year out injured. And he did all he could there. McDonald makes yet another save. Yeah, stays 2-1 Rangers.
Great effort from Hadji, Liam. Absolutely excellent. But McDonald does so well. He just gets a flash at it, throws an arm at it, and turns it over the bar. Because I actually thought Rangers had passed up the opportunity, taking too many touches inside the box. But Hadji did well.
In comes the corner towards the near post. It's headed away. It's going to break Hadji's way at the edge of the area. His efforts blocked by his own man Danilo. Back to Hadji, down towards the byline. And he wins the corner. Good play from Hadji. It was a kind of almost a false start when he came back from injury last season, so he'll be wanting minutes in his legs as the weeks go on here.
Yeah, I'll actually get them here when they've got so much of the ball now, Rangers.
Yeah, Dowell's corner comes in. It's flicked by a Rangers player. It's kept alive by Dessers, left-hand side of the box. Back to Cifuentes, lines one up, doesn't catch it, easily blocked. Now it's back with Lundstrom. And then Goldson then with a right foot delicate ball into the box, headed away by Broadfoot, who's got the captain's armband since Grant Gillespie went off. Morton lose out. Hadji, it's Dowell, plays it through quickly into the area for Dessers. Dessers then eventually works it back out wide right for Sima, and have actually come off the defender. Here's Dowell, level with 18-yard line, out to Hadji. Well, Rangers have flicked the switch now, haven't they? As Hadji gets it back onto the left to the overlapping Lundstrom. Hits the byline as well. It's a good ball in, and then headed off the bar from Sima. Looked all the way a third for Rangers. It stays at 2-1. Morton know another Rangers goal, and it will be curtains. And here's a chance here for them to get that third goal. The shot from Matondo's blocked though. And Morton leading a charmed life all of a sudden, having led this game, but it was a real awakening for these Rangers players. Michael Beale made the triple change. They got a penalty of their own to equalise before Danilo added to that Dessers spot kick. And that's why it's Rangers 2, Morton 1 with 18 to play. It's all about Rangers now all of a sudden. Yeah, the penalty to level it, Liam, changes the game, because the triple change doesn't come until after that happens. And the fact that Rangers managed to get themselves level and back in the game before the changes come, then you inject the energy and the fact that you knock the wind out the sails of Morton at the same time, because they go with that advantage and then they lose it. But the quality that Rangers have brought on in terms of Hadji is certainly injected a bit of life. Danilo's shown a lovely bit of quality over on the far left-hand side a minute or so ago as well. He's a ball carrier, tricky feet, links the game really, really well. Certainly starting to motor and go through the gears, no doubt. Yeah, Morton's still in the cup tie though, 2-1 down. It's not over yet. You get a chance to at least force extra time, but they're looking leggy. They're looking very leggy now, Andy.
Yeah, they look as if they're gasping for air a little bit over the last 10 minutes, Liam. And it's difficult like that, you know. Definitely, Leon touched it there. The substitutions made the difference. The penalty kick, well, nothing you can do about that, but the substitutions have lifted the energy of the Rangers team. Yeah. And the passing's now got purpose again. Yeah, Seamus found Matondo wide on the left, looking to attack O'Connor. He's at the 18-yard line, forced back the way. Again, it's just not quickly enough there for the Rangers supporters like him, but he gets it back there as Danilo finds Dessers. Danilo again, back to Dessers, good footwork, Lena dig out the shot, Dessers goes down. No penalty, says the ref. He said that today a couple of times though, and been overruled as Morton get it away. A little bit last ditch from Dougie Emery's team that time. Yeah, it was, and the game will become a bit more. Dessers goes down again, and the Sima header held on to by McDonald.
it'll become a bit more last ditch like that, Liam, because Morton are still looking to try and get that leveller, so they're throwing the bodies forward, and when they do that and they get caught, as we mentioned, they're a bit leggy. They don't have the luxury of making 3 changes in the 60-70 minute mark as Rangers do. They will get caught, and that's when things will start to open up really nicely for Rangers in attack.
We're going to bring on Jack Byrne in just a moment.
That'll be the last of Morton's substitutions, Liam, because the other 2 on the bench are the substitute goalkeeper, and I'll lay you $1 to a donut that Jack Baird doesn't appear. So that'll be the end of Morton's substitutions so far.
Jack Byrne was at Liverpool, was in the books at Liverpool for 6 years, on loan at Kidderminster Harriers last season in the National League down south. It's Connor Goldson with a long ball looking to spring Sima down the right. He's done just that. Sima has it. Waters the covering player. Rolled to Hadji inside the box. Hadji on the turn. Oh, he's unlucky as he tried to find the top left corner. He's got his arms outstretched as if to say, what have I got to do to score? That goes over with 15 to play. Rangers 2, Morton 1.
Yeah, that was fantastic. What a turn. Now he's just going to strip himself off and walk off the park after that, you know.
He's blaming the GPS vest that he's not hit the target, so he's ripped that off.
Is that the footballing sat nav, the GPS vest?
That's the one, Andy.
That's the first time I've seen a player blame that for missing the target, though.
Great turn on his left side like that, and a fantastic shot across the face of the goalkeeper like that. He's only a matter of 6 inches away from scoring a great goal. And I've seen Hadji scoring great goals over the years as well, so it's nothing new. But he's going to get more of the ball. There are no 2 ways. I've said earlier on about that, because that's the way the game is now, and those type of players thrive on that. When the other teams are just beginning to wilt that wee bit, and they've got the opportunity to show their quality.
He was born in Turkey during his dad's spell at Galatasaray. It was Yanis Hadji. Here come Rangers down the left with Danilo. He rolls it back the way to Matondo. Now it's with Dowell. Bends the ball in with the left foot, headed away by Waters. The edge of the box. It's turned back the way to the right hand side by Alan Power. Then forward to Oakley. Haven't mentioned George Oakley or Robbie Muirhead as much in the second half. It's been mostly about what Rangers have been doing, albeit Morton's penalty came in the second half. They haven't been able to engage Oakley and Muirhead at all as they did in the first half. Rangers went up the gears. There's Byrne through there to Crawford. Crawford goes down, but Rangers win it back through Cifuentes. Now it's with Matondo, finds Sifeko. Forward to Cifuentes. Oh, ball to Goldson. To Lundstrom. Rangers in total control in this cup tie right now, though. Going to make a double change. Devine and the lesser spotted Roof will be on shortly. Here's Hadji moving forward to the right for Simas. Ball comes in for Danilo. Lovely turn on the left foot. His efforts blocked. Still alive with Dessers, but pinched back for Morton by Power. Does a really good job. We've seen him do that in Scottish football for a good few years now, Alan Power. Just helping his defenders out. Morton are able to clear. It's Rangers 2, Morton 1.
Yeah, I said Alan Power when I saw him a couple of weeks ago play for Morton. He could be the most influential signing this season. His experience and the way he plays the game and the way he shuts down people in front of him and keeps his teammates going as well. He's going to be a big signing for Morton this year in the Championship.
Missed out in the playoffs by just goal difference last season. Morton, it was a really good consistent campaign, you would have to say. Dougie Emery started life as Morton manager the season before really well, actually. Went on a really good run. It came too late for them on that occasion, but they were so tight. They were just 2 points off Ayr United in second. It could have gone any way on that final dramatic evening as Hadji attacks for Rangers. Long deep cross. Desser's header is headed away by Broadfoot. It's now with Dowell, who rolls it out wide left. Rangers come again with Matondo with 12 to play. 2-1 up. Matondo, Danilo, and now Goldson at the edge of the box. He took his eye off it, and then Muirhead wins it back, but it's back with Danilo, who shoots first time from distance. It's a comfortable save for McDonald. He pats it down into the ground, bounces it back up like a basketball player before bowling it out to that right hand side for Cameron Blues. One back by Dowell. No free kick. Morton wanted one, but there's no respite for them right now. Rangers attack. The through ball towards Dessers. Good covering by Darragh O'Connor, who's had an excellent afternoon. He and Broadfoot, save for the penalty that Broadfoot gave away, have been pretty steady at the back for the visitors. And that comes back from Cifuentes all the way to Jack Butland, who's had nothing to do really since that penalty was swept behind him. Grant Gillespie sending him the wrong way, as Dessers did to McDonald up the other end just a few minutes later. And that was the turning point for Rangers. Still they wait to make the double change. But as long as they're just a goal behind Morton, they are still in this cup tie.
Yeah, that's a shout. As long as you can see the opposition, they're only a goal behind like that. A free kick, corner kick, anything at all that they could scrape out of that, Morton can make a chance out of it. But they can't reproach themselves on this, Morton. I'm just watching, when Morton players hit the deck now, Liam, they get up very, very gingerly to get on with the game. And this is the point of the game now where Morton players are looking and they're sure somebody's adding yards onto this park. But yes, the players seem to be so far away from me now.
And time onto the clock as well.
Yeah.
It's big enough as it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hadji on the right hand side of the Morton box pushes into the area for Sima. Hadji goes down. As I look at the ref, no free kick, and Sima gets it all wrong on the near side. That's going to go out for a Morton throw-in, and Rangers will be able to make this double change now. And they're able to bring Adam Devine on. Saw some action last season, of course, as Cyril Dessers was replaced by Kemar Roof, who popped up now and again last season, and he popped up spectacularly in this competition when he scored the winner in the semi-final in extra time against Aberdeen at Hampden. So they're just desperate to get him going again, Leanne, Kemar Roof.
Yeah, absolutely, and he can be a big player for Rangers as well. He's got a bit about him in terms of being that talisman, but injuries really have hindered his Rangers career and stopped him getting into any sort of real rhythm. Any sort of minutes in the legs though will be good for him, and if he can add a goal to that this afternoon, I'm sure he would enjoy it.
It's the Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland on digital, online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland, across the frequencies. Rangers 2, Morton 1 in this last 16 Scottish League Cup tie at Ibrox. Final 10 minutes. Morton led through a Gillespie penalty. That was one in the air, and it is a free kick. It looked for a second there as though Jack Byrne wasn't going to get the decision, and Andy Ritchie was bemoaning it in the background.
Yeah, it's one of the rules I don't understand. I'm a dinosaur for the game, Liam, you know, and that's a foul. It ain't going anywhere. The referee sees it, give the foul, because you automatically think he's not going to do it. You know, you think he's not seen the foul where he has. You
don't have to be that old to be a dinosaur these days, Andy, that's for sure.
No.
The tweaks and the VARs and everything else.
The tweaks are all off my body in the morning getting out of bed, my friend.
That's enough of that, thank you. It's a long ball which Seema's going to chase, and then it's cleared by Waters into the air, and it's Morton who emerge with it. Just a goal behind, looking to try and at least force extra time. Rangers look more likely to add to their lead though. Here's Roof, little touch to Hadji, and he's got the other sub, Devine, driving down the right flank. Hadji has it, out to Devine, who is level with 18, and he stepped in when James Tavernier was injured last season. Adam Devine, as it's picked up by Cifuentes. He actually played at left back a lot as well, covering for Barisic on the other side. Here's Roof, the edge of the box, spots the goal, shoots and drags it well wide. And on 82 it stays Rangers 2, Morton 1.
Yeah, that's exactly what Kemar Roof's going to look to try and do. Doesn't get the quality and execution, but any sight at goal in this next 8 or 9 minutes, he's going to look to try and bag a goal. One, for the confidence, but two, to just finish this game as well. As you guys have mentioned, it's still in the balance at 2-1. Any sort of mistake or lapse in concentration from Rangers, and I'm sure Morton will look to try and capitalise on it.
Michael Beale will be trying to stress his players, just, 2-1's enough. They can score more goals. The Rangers fans will want them to score more goals. 2-1 gets them in the hat for the quarters, and that at the end of the day is the main thing. Ask Barry Robson, who watched his Aberdeen team labour to a 2-1 win over Stirling Albion yesterday. His Broadfoot goes long underneath its Lundstrom. The draw to come after tomorrow's action. You'll get the team news dropping right now, bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland, for the 3 last 16 League Cup ties that are kicking off today. Less than 50 minutes until they get underway, with full commentary to come from Paisley as St Mirren take on Motherwell. Those two have begun the season brilliantly. Bouncing ball into the Rangers box, cleared by Devine. A little nervy moment for the Rangers fans there when it was allowed. Always is the case when the defensive team allows the ball to bounce inside the box. There's a second ball there to be won if that happens for the attacking team. Power picks up, chip ball, it's well read by Lundstrom though, casual little ball into Dowell as well. Here's Danilo will fire it into the path of Sima down the left hand side, taking on Cameron Blues, goes one way then the other, into the box he goes, gets it back onto the right foot, looks up at the goal, it's deflected. McDonald with an incredible bit of goalkeeping there. I mean, that's the pick of the bunch from the veteran. He's been magnificent for Morton today, and somehow as that was deflected towards him, which gave him an even bigger problem than the shot itself, he somehow managed to tip it over the bar, and it's a corner only to Rangers, and Morton are still in this cup tie somehow. Rangers 2, Morton 1.
It's outrageous from Jamie McDonald. He's already gone, he's made his decision, he dips to his right hand side and just throws the left arm up. So reactive, of course, but the strength of the arm to put it over the bar, unbelievable. What an afternoon he's had.
Yeah, he's definitely been man of the match for me today, and no doubt about that.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. Hadji's out swinging corner comes in, bounces in the box again. Morton can't quite get it clear, it's with Cifuentes, flashes it back out to Hadji in the near side. He's managed to keep it in play after a poor first touch, still has it now up against Byrne on this near side. Support from Dowell if he wants it. We're in the final 5 now at Ibrox. Rangers leading 2-1. Here's Dowell inside the area, flicks it off the defender, and it breaks kindly for Jack Byrne on this near side, and the Morton sub gets it away. Devine with a touch, that's going to go out for a Morton throw-in on this near side. So, what's Dougie Imrie saying to his players right now then?
He's asking them to get forward if they can. They look a little bit rattled at the moment, and they're running out of energy. There are no two ways about that. They put a shift in, every single one of them, and he's just hoping that one or two of them can get up, maybe even on this ball, to support the play, to get in the box, to give us one last chance at it.
There goes Alex King, he's got the cross into the Rangers box. It was a good one as well, no takers though. Byrne picks up, right hand side in front of the Morton fans by the corner flag over there. Right footed cross comes in, but it's onto the roof of the net. It's come off the defender though. Morton corner, 4 to play of the 90. They're maybe not done yet, the Greenock team.
Yeah, this is a chance, this is it. In the box, put it in it any way at all, we'll take it.
Yeah, this is exactly what Dougie Imrie will be after. This is a chance that he's looking for. It's up to his Morton players now to organise, attack it properly.
Corner's driven into the near post and headed behind by Cifuentes. So that is another Morton corner. It's a poor delivery by Robin Muirhead. He's got a second bite of the cherry here. Needs to be better.
Yeah, he has got a better delivery than that. But we've got to attack the ball. You know, a couple minutes to go at Ibrox. Go be a hero.
Here it comes, but it's too close to Butland, who holds on. He was fouled as well. And it's a Rangers ball, one way or the other, and it stays Rangers 2, Morton 1. And Robbie Muirhead will be disappointed with his 2 attempts at putting the ball in the mixer there. They've come and gone. Will they get another chance to do that? That's the question. As Hadji rolls it to the left of the centre circle for Dowell, who crosses the halfway line. Runners ahead of him, one of them Sima, and he's found him. Left hand side of the box, Danilo and Roof wait in the middle. And as Sima back to Dowell, level with the Morton 18. Turns it infield to Hadji. Hadji then to the left hand side for Dowell, and now to Cifuentes. To Roof, back to Cifuentes. He's got Devine on this near side. Finds him. Devine back to Cifuentes. He's inside the box, looks at the goal, plays it across. McDonald yet again makes the save, and then it's booted away by King, and out for a Rangers throw-in over on that far side, the Rangers left.
I think Cifuentes actually just caught himself in 2 minds early and whether to have a proper go at Jamie McDonald or put it into a danger area. In the end he does none. Makes it really easy for McDonald just to get the hand to and deal with. But I'm looking at the clock, and you would expect that a substantial amount of time added on as well with the VAR checks that we've had.
That's true. Could be looking at 8 minutes here. In comes the cross ball, bounces across the face of McDonald's goal frame, comes out to this near side. Devine keeps it in play, flicks it with the outside of the right boot, finds Danilo looking for Roof. Roof's going to get it back just about, but Waters prevents it from getting to Kemar Roof, who was 6 yards out there, and Morton have a free kick for a foul, I think, on Blues over on the right hand side of the box. It's going to be a free kick to Morton. We'll find out what the injury time will be in about 90 seconds time, because that's what's left of the 90 minutes.
Yeah, Rangers picking Morton off a little bit round about the box like that. A couple of nice interchanges and passes, and Callum Waters did really well there. He's got over a bit of energy and a bit of determination to get to the ball to make the clearance like that.
Morton have it over on that far side. Alan Power in the midfield. Knocks it out to Waters on the left. Dougie Imrie's wanting someone ahead of him. Instead he bends it into the penalty area. It's gone over Goldson's head. Almost dropped to Oakley. It goes behind off him for a goal kick. Connor Goldson's a little bit fortunate there as we approach minute 90 with Rangers leading 2-1.
I think Dougie Imrie's just looking at Alec King there to offer a bit of width, just to give that option to play wide and then look to get numbers centrally. But Morton just looking to try and go direct, just probably a little bit too early. A bit more time and thought behind that, it might have created a better opportunity.
Go back to Goldson. Squares it to Lundstrom. And out to Devine on this near side. All about getting the job done in a cup tie.
Dougie Imrie's looking on at Alan Power now and wondering if he'll be able to get the gas and air on for him for the last 10 minutes. He's playing from memory now a wee bit, Alan Power. He's not played a lot of football. I think a couple of games here in the last month, but I think he's played a lot before that, and he's suffering now, but he's still getting through it.
Yeah, Hadji for Rangers attacking the right hand side of the box. His pass is blocked, and now Kirk Broadfoot taking the ball out of defence. Finds Oakley inside his own half though, as he pushes it back to the Morton top scorer so far this season. Crawford drifts the ball forward, but it's easily headed away by Yufeko. 8 minutes have been added, and here goes Sima down the left. The Morton player down, Sima driving forward. Rangers looking to just kill this off. Sima, left hand side of the box, chips it back, it's blocked, and then the foul, was it by Danilo? No, referee says play on. Danilo has it as a shot at goal and flashes it past the post on the reverse side, and it stays Rangers 2, Morton 1 in stoppage time here at Ibrox.
Yeah, they're all queuing up to have a shot at goals now. Just as well, Jamie's been in good form all day today. I think in the next 8 minutes he'll have a wee bit to do again. I think we can see 1 or 2 more saves coming for the goalkeeper now.
The thing is, it's at this point of the game, Andy, as well, and you'll know as a player, we've spoken about the tiredness. This is where injury and fatigue kicks in, and that's a risk for Morton now as well. They might go out of the cup this afternoon, but they've got league form to get back to. They don't have a big squad, so what did the club do? How do they support Dougie Imrie in this time? Because they're asking them to go and try and pursue a cup run and use the players, but they don't have the quality or the quantity there to change it.
Well, maybe the day here that we've had with the 40,000 people and the check going back down the road in the bus like that will help come the end of the month to add to the numbers, because we certainly need it like that, you know. And it's only right and proper that the club back up these players and Dougie Imrie for the performances that they've put on for the last year. Celtic Park here, but other games as well, all through the league games, and as you touched on, Liam.
Chance, Andy, for Morton, and pushed back towards Muirhead, but it wasn't a great ball. He was inside the box as well. Rangers able to come away with it. Sorry, Andy, you can crack on.
Yeah, they'll be able to support Dougie Imrie in regards to that. We're only a hair's breadth away from being the playoffs, as he mentioned earlier on, Liam, so this is a great day. It's a great day for Morton. It's a great day for these players to come and play. It's a great day for our supporters to be here. They put on a show. They've done their best. Looks as if they might just come up with
a chance as well. Muirhead, he's gone down. Was he tripped? No, says the referee. Muirhead sitting down on the pitch with his arms outstretched, wanting a free kick. Rangers offering Morton a little bit of encouragement just in the last minute or so. We played 2 of the 8 that were added. Rangers leading 2-1. Michael Beale just wants his team to get to the final whistle and just get off this pitch, and he can then focus on PSV on Tuesday.
That's it, draw a line under it, Liam, because the performance, as much as there's been more energy and enthusiasm with the changes that have been made, but as there should be, we're speaking about the fact that Morton have been unable to change it. Rangers have brought on 5 changes. They've injected that energy, they've got the luxury of a big squad, and they're still managing to offer Morton at this stage of the game a tiny bit of incentive that they could go and draw themselves level.
Yeah, spot on, Leanne. If Morton had been able to get 3 substitutes on as well during this last 25 minutes of the game, what a difference that would have made to them as well.
Of course it would have, yeah.
You know,
because it does every game, and I'm not a huge fan of the 5 changes across the board. I understand it at times, but it does change the dynamic, and if you're the opposition team that doesn't have the luxury of making 3, let alone 5.
Well, it's a hangover from the lockdown season, isn't it? That's where they started it.
I'm hoping that the Morton directors sitting at the back of his, Liam, are watching this and saying just what you said earlier on as well. How do you help Dougie Imrie here?
Yeah.
Now, you know, they'd need to be a blind man, the galloping horse, not to see exactly what's happening here at this moment in time.
Chance for Rangers, cross comes in, headed over the bar by Roof,
and it's up to them.
Goal kick.
It's up to them now.
Look, Andy, the bottom line is, 5 substitutions. He's not got 5 subs. on the bench.
He's got 2 subs, 2 kids, 2 18-year-old boys.
And a goalkeeper.
Yeah. That's it. So, you know, if they want, and they made a fist of it last year to get to the promotion playoffs, and these people who come and support us, Liam, will think they want to get
a chance. Oakley's in behind the defence here, takes the touch, goes down. Yefeko's challenge, and the ref's happy with it. David Dickinson says it's okay. Oakley thinks he's been fouled, and if he hasn't been, that is an almighty challenge from Johnny Yefeko on his debut. Right at the end of the game.
It's a good challenge, Liam. It's a good challenge. George Oakley thinks he's got more time than he has. The first touch has got to be better. The first touch in his path has got to kill it so that he can then step straight onto it. And he's looking and he's waiting for the ball to drop, and just in that instance it's allowed Yefeko to get a touch on it, and the touch then drops onto Oakley's shin himself. It's a good challenge.
But what a chance.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, fantastic chance here. Big George was he's just been running out of peg in the last 10 minutes, and when he got to it, Ian's right enough, his first touch didn't take him away from it as well, and he wanted more time. You're only 6-7 yards out, you know, but he just didn't have the energy at the end to finish off. A great challenge though. The big fella's got his left peg across to make the challenge like that. That was the opportunity. That was the opportunity for Morton.
That was a big chance.
3 minutes of the injury time that was added. There were 8 minutes added. A reminder, all the team news is at bbc.co.uk/sportscotland for the 3 o'clock kickoffs. St Mirren Motherwell is the commentary game from the League Cup at 3. Here's Danilo for Rangers, looking to make the scoreline look a bit more impressive. 2-1 currently stands at in the final stages of this one. Cifuentes with the ball forwards, headed away by O'Connor. Breaks back to Cifuentes. Here's Hadji on this near side, stepping in field. Fouled, free kick, yellow card for King.
Yeah, it was a yellow card. It was a bit of a lunge at the end for the young fella. Hadji just showed him a wee bit of dropped shoulder there and was going away for him. Big fella just brought him down. Definite yellow card.
You look at Hadji, and once he gets a run of games, Liam, you can see the quality of the player that's there, and he is different from the others that kind of play centrally, the way he moves the ball. He's a ball carrier as well, which Rangers need at times. You know, too many players centrally are very, very similar, play off a 1 and 2 touch, and not with the type of intensity as the fans would like to see. He's over the free kick as well now. I think he'll fancy his chances from here.
Yeah, Yanis Hadji is there with Cifuentes, but this is Hadji surely all day long with a left foot. Here he goes, and it just dips too late over the crossbar. It goes, and it will stay Rangers 2, Morton 1.
Yeah, you're saying there these qualities are there for everybody to see like that, but you know, it's been ideal for him, Liam. He's come on here when Morton have just been beginning to wilt a little bit. He's allowed himself, and he's playing in there himself. He didn't pick anybody up, he doesn't do anything. He's just allowed to go and get on the ball, and that suits him completely. That'll not suit him in every game.
There's a throw in for Waters, who bowls it back to Power. Power then on the turn rolls it to King on this near side, tries to get through the legs of Hadji, but it breaks off the Romanian, breaks to Roof. Now it's back with Hadji on this near side touchline. We're in the final minute of the 8 that were added, and Rangers have given it away. Power clips it down the left hand side. Morton looking to try and force extra time here. Crawford down by the corner flag, plays it off Devine. It's out for a throw in only though. It's almost a corner when it's going to be a throw in, and across comes Dara O'Connor to bowl it into the box, and this is Morton's last chance. This is it, now or never for the ton. O'Connor bowls it into the penalty area. Butland comes and makes a complete mess of it, but Rangers head it behind for the corner. What on earth? Jack Butland's claiming he was pushed. I mean, an experienced goalkeeper like that, how on earth has he missed that throw-in?
He came out through bodies and didn't get to it, got underneath the ball.
He had absolutely no right to come for it, Liam. No right to come for it.
I don't know whether he's trying to take the pressure off his defender.
3 and 4 Rangers bodies front area to deal with it.
Corner in from Crawford, it's deep towards Broadfoot, takes it down, he stabs for goal, and over it goes. He's wanting a corner, he's not getting one. Well, that would have been a story. Kurt Broadfoot, such a successful time as a Rangers player, 39 years of age, he puts it over, and that Is the horse bolted now, Andy Ritchie, you suspect?
Yeah, I would suspect. You know, I said earlier on about 10 minutes ago, if we could only do that, and we've done it. George Oakley through there should have been doing better, and Big Kirk should have been as well, you know, but what a performance.
It's all over. Rangers go through, but they were made to work for it this afternoon, make no mistake. They missed opportunities in the first half, primarily due to the excellent form of Jamie McDonald in the ton goal. Matondo most notably missing out. Dessers did too. And Morton threatened now and again up the other end themselves. Robbie Muirhead forcing a save from Jack Butland. Then into the second half it got really interesting. Leon Balogun with a foul, Morton with a penalty, converted by Grant Gillespie. And it was the Championship team who led here at Ibrox and began dreaming of a first ever League Cup victory over Rangers and a first win over Rangers since the 1980s. It wasn't to be though. After the VAR check awarded Morton the penalty, the same could be said for Rangers. Kirk Broadfoot with the foul and Leon Balogun. The penalty stroked home by Cyril Dessers for his second for the club. And in double quick time, Danilo made it 2-1. Morton still threatened, very leggy towards the end. George Oakley and Kirk Broadfoot coming close to salvaging extra time. It wasn't to be though. And they will refocus for their home double-header coming up in the Championship against Arbroath and Partick Thistle over the next 2 weekends. For Rangers, who made 8 changes to their starting 11, they've squeaked home, and now they can turn their attentions to PSV Eindhoven and Champions League qualifying here with the first leg on Tuesday. It finished Rangers 2, Morton 1.
This is